Hey everybody, welcome back to Hex Token channel, Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex, of course, all the time. We're living it and breathing it here on Hex Token channel. Of course, 2 live streams a day, and of course, we love it. We just love it. So it's like the blood that flows through our veins. We're so excited about what's the potential change this is going to have in crypto. Like I said, it's going to be a juggernaut, an earthquake, whatever superlative you want to use. It's going to be pretty amazing. I'm your host, Superman, and welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff, and let's rock and roll. Let's get into some of the comments there. Hopefully, it sounds like the audio is up and running, so we're going to check that out. Haven't done a poll today, so let me know in the chat if you want to do a poll. If you've got a good idea, I'll put that in, and we can run some polls for sure in the chat. We got a few comments in the house there. Big welcome from me. And of course, the hodl generation says that thumbnail is spot on. Hashtag Superman. Yeah, well, I can't take credit for it. That was done by one of our members, of course, and I've given credit out to their credit community member, Hardy Land. Big shout out. What a great thumbnail. It sort of encapsulates the superhero theme, which I like on this channel. Sci-fi superhero, you know me, that's how I like to roll. And of course, Hardy Land there put together a really, really cool thing there on that thumbnail. So pretty awesome there. Dave and down in the fantastic thumbnail. Yeah, it is really good. Congratulations, Hardy Land, on that one. Very, very love it because it's so true, says whole generation. Yeah. If you're part of the recent market crash pullback, you're in the Luna community, Pulsechain is your second chance. And of course, it's coming up. Pulsechain is going to be absolutely amazing. The first system state Ethereum, a fork of Ethereum. That's a big thing, man. The first system state fork of Ethereum. This has never been done before. Other chains have launched empty for the most part. And this is the first system state copy, including most of the latest coding in it as well, including the London fork stuff. So pretty powerful chain. It's going to be pretty successful, I suggest, because it's a battle hardened chain in Ethereum. But this time, of course, been upgraded with proof of stake, so it's ahead of ETH 2.0, and of course, going to be super fast, super cheap for a long time to come. And that's the main thing, that people want a really good user experience. Projects need a very low fee, fast environment to operate. So it really is, from a utility point of view, going to be a game changer in crypto. It's going to have the biggest airdrop in crypto history, the biggest yield farming, particularly in crypto history, and the fastest way to mass adoption. And of course, deflationary tokenomics, new tokenomics, including buy and burns with deflation from the beginning. In other words, all the inflation's up front, and then of course the tokens only go down. The native token PLS, the native token for Pulsechain, and of course the native token PLSX. Of course, the native token for PulseX, the exchange, the big exchange, and of course that is kind of like Uniswap or PancakeSwap, but on Pulsechain, it's a big game changer. There's lots of super dApps, of course. We've got big ones like Liquid Loans, which is going to be a fork of Liquidity. It's going to be massive, over $51 million raised for that. And of course, we're going to have a Fiat, a fork of Aave, another leverage lending net, never having to sell your Pulse, your PulseX, your Hex, all that good stuff, your stable coins, and earn a really nice return on that. It's a game changer, folks. Just watch the prices up and to the right. Man, people don't know what's coming. We've got a lot of liquidity sitting in the sidelines there from the sacrifices, over 680 million USD. Let's see what happens to that. No expectations from the work of others, but I think there's some fun things coming along, as well as some giant venture capitalists inside Pulsechain. Really is amazing. This is going to be the biggest thing in town. This is the shining light on the hill. This is the superheroes. You heard it, of course. Batman, Robin, and Batgirl. That's just the way we roll here as the heroes of crypto. So it's coming out pretty soon, possibly as early as late May here for the official Pulsechain mainnet. We're currently running on Pulsechain Testnet 2 V2B, privately V3 in the background, and of course mainnet just around the corner. You could have only turned up here as part of your destiny. It's going to be so exciting. And anyway, in any case, we've got the crypto markets have bounced back, and of course we're back over 30,000. This is really good to see, and of course we really want to cement ourselves back over 30k as well. So it's never inevitable that we're going down. We just want to make sure that we can stay up there. That's always in the game at the moment. So nice to see a bounce back. Really quite a fast bounce back too. And of course, it's just about consolidation here as well. I actually like over $30,000 for the Pulsechain launch. I think it's kind of the sweet spot for asset price appreciation. Everything on Pulsechain will start off at 0, and of course get priced up by the market And so I think having good comparable prices on the ETH chain, where the ERC20s get copied over to Pulsechain, and they're going to be called PRC20s. NFTs 721s getting copied over, going to call PRC 721s. ERC 1155s getting copied over, PRC 1155s. It's all coming. Everything over 500,000 tokens on coming over. 77,000 721s coming over. They're all coming, and something like 90,000, I think, 1155 contracts, and everything else that's there. It's all coming. 196 million wallets, of course, if they've got anything in them, getting copied on the Pulsechain. It's going to be amazing to see that play out. And when that bridge opens up, boy, oh boy, oh boy, the yield farmers will be coming. And of course, the masses will be coming for that sweet airdrop to participate in a low, cheap environment where they own the keys to their coins. OMG, you own the keys to your coins. You're not having to go to, maybe a second layer / slide chains like Polygon Matic or something like that. So cheers, everybody. Welcome to the superheroes of crypto, and it's about to play out. We're just before the main game. It's like we're sitting on the bench about to get ready, and the coach is about to call us. It's going to be pretty awesome. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Get your positions. Make sure that you've been training. So cheers. I'm pretty excited. I hope you guys are too. And a big shout out, as I say, to Hardy Lan there for that awesome thumbnail there. Let's get into some of the comments there. Dave and Down Under, I thought I was done, but the Hex price today was too enticing. Did another stake. Nice one, Dave. Yeah, that's the thing with Hex. You can stake at 38% APY. It's very clearly poised in the tokenomics to provide such an APY. It's very clever indeed. AK's in house there, up and to the right. Absolutely AK. And AK should know AK is on with the markets. And Hex Hodl in there too. Good to see you, Hex Hodl. Man, oh man, I'm having some studio issues here. Hopefully my audio is fine today. And let me know if that does sim out there for a little bit. Hex Hodl says 12, waiting, no 3 likes. You smash the likes. We've got 17 likes, 45 watching at the moment. And we'll probably hit up over 100 people watching. So definitely smash those likes. I really do appreciate it on the algorithm. And of course, it pumps our bags on Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex. Hook shots in the house there. What's up, Superman? Here in Indianapolis, 1:30 a.m. Purchasing sack of Hex before the snapshot. Been checking throughout the day for decent gas fees. Wow, can't wait until Pulsechain launches. Absolutely, that's a really great idea. Get it while you can. We're going to talk about the price in a second, and very, very cool. In fact, we might move around a bit around Pulsechain, PulseX, and of course the markets. We're going to move that around, mix it up a little today. We got Hotshot says, I think gas fees will be the biggest factor in the success of Pulsechain. Inflation is crazy and people are looking for alternatives to invest and obtain financial independence. I think that's a great statement there, Hotshot. I absolutely agree with you. Hotshot says Pulsechain is the answer. Absolute game changer. Yeah, Pulsechain is the first system state fork of Ethereum. PulseX is pretty much like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, and of course is supercharged with its superior tokenomics. The total fixed supply at the beginning, and then a magical buy and burn every $1 billion, around about $700,000 of every $1 billion of trading volume, about $700,000 of buy and burn a day. Man, oh man, it's a dream made in heaven. It's going to be awesome. It's way superior from everybody else, plus cheaper fees, 0.29%. It's going to be way, way better there as well. What else we got going on there? Dr. Gonzo's in house there. Hey, good morning from the UK. Big shout out. Luna Connect. Luna Connect. Trying to work that one out, DB Cuba. Hey, we're going to talk a little bit about Luna. We've covered Luna in 2 live streams, so we're not going to overdo Luna. But I'm going to talk about a little bit about Luna today, but not much more. I think we've done most of it. We will keep updated, of course, how that project goes. Obviously, it was a top 10 player. It is a big deal, and so it's well worthy of talking about. And of course, had played a pretty critical role probably in this pullback. Francis in the house there with the big hearts. Good to see you. And Ninja as well. Hey. Woo-hoo. Javi says Hex bull run started or new floor at 7 cents. Says Javi. Hey, forget the 7 cents, man. Forget the 7 cents. Ninja's house there. Tickle that like button, absolutely, Ninja. And it's down now. Says woo. Hardy Hexalorian in there as well. Hi, and good to see you. And what else we got? It's now awesome thumbnail. Hardy Hex, absolutely Hardy Hex. Congratulations. Very, very cool. What else we got? The Hardy, yeah, big, awesome thumbnail. Everyone loves it, so congratulations for that one. Morris is in the house there. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. You're welcome, Suitman, says Hardy Hexalorian. Hey, very, very cool. Appreciate it. Big bow down for that one. Woohoo! What else we got there? David says this pump is calming the crypto community's nerves for sure. Yeah, it's really positive to get back over 30. And very, very nice indeed. Now, did the Kiyosaki was talking about the price coming back down to, I think he said 17,000. I think he said 20,000 in particular. I think he was going to talk about backing up the truck and loading them up for BTC. So there was a tweet out there from Kiyosaki. So we'll see. Obviously, billionaire investor, I think he is. I think he's up at the $1 billion marks. Then definitely we'll see what happens there. Get Hex in there as well. Woo-hoo-hoo. Luna tripped us all out, says Davis. Absolutely. Now I'm going to talk about Luna. Just going to hold off on that because there's quite a few of us been in the chat today talking about Luna. And of course, we all decided, well, it hit the bottom. So it hit like 1 ETH or whatever you call it on an ETH pair there. And of course, it's I think it's pretty difficult. I don't think it can go below that from memory. It reminds me a bit like Hex when Hex was traded. Was it on BuyDesk, I think? And of course, everyone was trading between 1 and 2 ETH. And of course, it's cost you twice as much, right? You pay 2 ETH over 1 ETH or whatever, Gwei or whatever you want to call it. But it was pretty much the double bottoms there, and you had to double up on the price. You get half the volume. And it's a bit like that on Luna at the moment. So I myself have finally joined in the fray, speculating a little bit, just a few dollars there, not a lot. And of course, let's see how it goes. Sometimes these things tend to rebound in a week or 2 weeks later. So we'll see if it does or not. If it doesn't, so what? It's only a couple of bucks. If it does, then man, it could be some pretty good, neat returns there. Buying at the very bottom, which I believe it probably is at this stage, given the fact that you can't really do an offer price much better than that. I'm going to actually have a look at the moment. I've got a little order in at the moment. I've done 2 buys and I've got another one in really right at the bottom of the ETH price. So 701 is what I've got that on at the moment. Now it's still sitting in the order book there. The order's moved away from me. It's currently at 703 there on the ETH book there. So we'll see how we get on with that, but it's worth a bit of speculation. Quite a few people are spending like $30, $40, $50 on speculating on that, picking up a whole ton of bags. Ryan Gaines in house there. Hell yeah, we're pumping again. Absolutely, Ryan. It's looking good on the market. Look at that green. Yeah, it looks so good from yesterday. Even this morning, right? Even this morning. That's a big jump up there. Glad to see the market bounce back. Great to see. Yeah, green. James Bond said, yes, the pump is in it. Yeah. Wow, look at that. All that green says Briz. Absolutely. Good to see Briz in the house there. Man, we've got so many cool community members in the chat here. Morris, James, Briz. It's really, really cool. Or Brizology, full name there. Briz will probably go, why you call me Briz? My name's Brizology. Just get it right, governor. Get right. Too right. All right. And the Pulse player's in the house there. Luna is dumping off all their BTC bottom confirmation, says the Pulse player. And is done dumping all their BTC bottom. Yep. Get Hex in the house there. Woo! Money bags. What else we got going here? Let's jump through here. Someone said a Luna whale. Let me just jump back to that. James Bond says, I'm a Luna whale now. James Bond says, well, it looks like I am too, James Bond. But we'll see how we get on there. Its price is already rising. It's moved off the 1 ETH. It's got to get up higher, though. There's not much in the way, though, after 3 years in the house there. Let me just quickly check something here. Let me just pop something up here. I'm trying to get something pulled up so I can get my language right. I've got a bit rusty, not looking at the stuff. Let me. We're up to Gwei. That's was the right word, Gwei. Yeah. Cool. Let's see how we get on there. We got Sam in the house there. Good to see you. All's what's up? Catch up with Superman Speed in the morning. Hey Sam, appreciate that. See you on the other side. Sam has to watch it the next day. James Bond says, hi, everybody. Audio is good so far. That's a good thing because we had a few issues there earlier in the first live stream. The Pulse player says, at what point do we choose our new hoses we'll be able to buy after the mainnet? New hoses? You mean houses? What point do we choose new houses we will be able to buy after? Well, once they actually made the money. That's probably the way you look at that. Once you actually made the money. What else we got going in there? And Hex Hog here. Toxic Hex Hog likes the thumbnail. Big shout out to Toxic Hex Hog. Woohoo! Pulsechain can't wait. Gas is killing me. Yeah, gas has been horrendous. We've got gas at the moment. 100 Gwei. It's just unrelenting at these days. This is what a perfect use case for Pulsechain. Is this gas price once again coming back to show everybody why Pulsechain is so valuable. Those thumbnails are fantastic, says James. They absolutely are. Big shout out to Hardy Land. Luna pumping too. Woo-hoo. It does seem to be pumping. And like I said, I've got an order still in. I got an order in at 1 Gwei or whatever. So yeah, I got 4. Just gonna make sure I got my right numbers there. Yeah. It's not traded yet, though. It's still sitting. I've not even partially traded, but I did 2 trades earlier. Picked up a little bit of Luna, and not as much as James Bond, though. I think James Bond's got a better rate than I ever did. Well done to James Bond. DB Cooper House. Hello, my name is DB, and I'm a hexaholic, and I'm okay with that. That's true. MetaMask mobile version down. Woo! Is it? Oh, that's pretty sad. I don't use the mobile for that. AK says never bought Luna, garbage. Thank God. Says AK, absolutely. It's just we're trying to time the bottom there. AK, woohoo! Go Hex Token, says John. Hey John, good to see you in the chat there. What else is? GB Cooper says we're all hexaholics. Welcome to the group. Let's have a sip. A nice 15 years old state whiskey. That's true. And get Hex in there as well with the drinks. Love it. Mainnet soon. Can't wait. Absolutely okay. We're waiting for Pulsechain. It's coming pretty soon. We're also going to do update for liquid loans again. We're going to play a third time. Probably won't play it after that. So if you missed out on the updates and the past 2 live streams, Liquid Loans did a nice little update video with CC, the CEO of Liquid Loans. Obviously, a huge deal on top of the Pulsechain infrastructure. Probably the flagship third-party project that's independent, of course. All right, we've got Pulsechain testnet, 3-second blocks, 1.4 million transactions on there. There's the third testnet. For those that are new to Pulsechain, Pulsechain is going to be the first system state fork of Ethereum. It is a giant deal being done by the Richard Hart, a billionaire, and of course the founder of Hex Token. Hex Token's about 2.5 years old, somewhere in that ballpark. It's a pretty big deal. And a lot of things are happening. The whole ecosystem is growing and growing. Very exciting. So Pulsechain, this is the third testnet we've had. First one was 77 days. The second testnet was 103 days. And this one here is about 60 days at the moment. So 2 months. And of course, version 3 is currently sitting in privately being tested as we understand it. And of course, we're looking to go to mainnet possibly late May. So maybe somewhere in the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th of May, somewhere in that ballpark possibly. If everything goes well, we think we're only really up to staging the launch, and of course DevOps, and of course a block height has to be chosen, so we're looking forward to that. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Probably we could get a little bit more information around the incentive token, but I think other than that, I think we're in pretty good hands at this stage. I think it's going to be fun times to ride out there. What else I was going to say? This is the testnet. This is the block explorer. We'll probably end up with other block explorers as well. This is just the base one here. So we'll see how we go with that. The other thing, of course, we've got all the dApps are sitting up there, tick on everything. Been running quite nicely. We've got the validators. You can do a proof of stake here. So really it's a front running Ethereum because we've got proof of stake already. This has been added to the code, as you would say. And of course, that's been operating pretty well. There's going to be 33 validators looking pretty good. We've also got obviously an exchange. This is the big deal. An AMM after Pulsechain launches, AMM bot's going to run and set up liquidity pools, harvest all the PRC20s and put them in the PulseX pool, and of course lock out the liquidity pulling, and of course that could issue up to 3.2 trillion Pulse tokens, the native token of Pulsechain, and of course that people are going to be able to trade that. Then of course maybe after 24 hours, maybe a bit longer, we have the official Pulsechain bridge opening up, and of course that's going to be amazing. So that's this one here. And of course, people will be able to open the bridge and transfer assets over from Pulsechain, so from Ethereum to Pulsechain, etc. And of course, we're likely to have a lot of third-party bridges pop up as well as fair gateways in time as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So lots happening, folks. Everything is going pretty well. We are just around the corner probably from Pulsechain launch. And as the thumbnail shows, Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex really going to be big heroes in crypto. Watch that top 10 list because there's some big things coming. They're going to get us well positioned for that. Hey, a crypto takeover, here we come. That's what we're looking at. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so let's go for gold here. We're going to get into the markets at the moment. So that's really just a refresh there on the Pulsechain. And of course, we've got the markets 13.3 cents on Hex at the moment. And this is on the hourly here. We can see that the buyers on the RMI, DMI there are in control. And we also have the momentum in favor of the buyers also under control on the hourly there, and the sellers are out of control. So not in control, I should say. So the buyers are definitely in control there, and we're over 25. So we've got an uptrend for that. And of course, you can see that clearly in the price action of the chart. We also got the RSI on the hourly there. looking pretty good too, and plenty of room to grow in terms of that price. So looking good. Let's jump over to the daily here on Hex. Our target price up there is 20 cents, of course. The higher we are before Pulsechain news comes out, in other words, anything about the launch, staging, block height, that sort of stuff, the better we will have a rally. The higher the rally will be, the higher we start our base from, pretty much that. I suspect that we'll get more of a retail rally, in my view. Be interesting to see whether we get bigger hands, bigger wallets as we're coming in to push the price up. But in any case, definitely think that retail book could definitely charge this price up before launch. So here we are. We're getting pretty close, man. What's that? The 13th of May here. 16th was the original 50-50. Don't know if we'll make that, but next week could definitely possibly happen. Maybe same time next week. And of course, we've the next one, 75% chance of 23rd of May. That'd be all the way out here, all the way out on the 23rd. And then, of course, I've got a yellow here, 24th of May. Would be 2 weeks from when Richard was on Wendy O, saying maybe 2 weeks, maybe earlier. So we could get an earlier phase there. And of course, then of course the late date there, the 26th there. So somewhere in this ballpark is a good chance that we'll launch, but of course not inevitable, right? Not inevitable that we'll launch, but definitely looking very, very likely. As I said, all the Dapps up and running, everything's going smooth. We presume that the V3 liquidity harvesting went fine in testing, and of course the Vision 3 testnet is running on private servers, and that should be up and running. And so hopefully we're all ready. Get that staging done. It was talked about the team was having a day or two holidays or something like that. I don't know, but we'll find out. But so looking good in my view. We'll see what Richard Hart says. Always follow Richard Hart, the official announcements. Don't follow any scammers. There's going to be a lot of scammers out there, so definitely follow Richard Hart with the real stuff there. So that's Hex price at the moment, looking pretty good. We're going to jump back to Pulsechain and PulseX here because we're going to talk a little bit about some of the ratios here. So if we take the Pulsechain, we've got obviously some really big fundamentals there. So we had AVAX. AVAX did 5,596%. That's a 57x, and of course that was 329 days for that. We had BNB do 34x. That's 245 days. We had Solana do 533x, so massive, over 1,000x. That's the big X's that people are after. 574. Now it's going to be hard to get these X's now. Think about what projects are out there. What projects can get you big X's. It's going to be really hard to find them, folks. Pulsechain looks like the biggest thing to me out there, and I'm talking about big. I'm talking about giant. It's going to be pretty big potential. Obviously, you've got to do your own investment due diligence. Nothing on this channel is investment advice, but man, it's going to be pretty exciting. Luna in the house there did 1,007x. That was 658 days. FTM did 2,200x, 595 days. Adam did 41x in 553 days. CeeLo did 14x in 469 days. And of course, that was an average X return of 656x in 1.4 years. And of course, I think that Pulsechain will probably do that X return in half the time. So that could be, 7-8 months, something like that. Could be pretty massive. I'm definitely bullish for a 200-300x out of the gate in the first 6 months. So yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome to see this play out. The other thing, of course, is Ethereum from its all-time low did about 16,000x, and that was 30 cents issue price. I think it was about $2.80 launch price. Depends on which chart you're looking at, of course. And that did over about 16,000x. I think it's pretty awesome that you can get that sort of. I think that Pulsechain, because the fork of Ethereum, could do huge results in half the time. Because obviously it's taking everything, it's just copying everything over and improved it, made it better, made it the way that Ethereum should be, with super fast, super cheap fees, and of course bring everything over. Why not? You're in a better environment, you own the keys to your coins, and every project can flourish on there. So I think it's going to be exciting to see that play out. Better tokenomics as well. Buy and burns for PulseX, 25% fee burn for Pulse. It's going to be amazing for that as well. Competitive fees for PulseX too, 0.29% versus 0.3 and stuff like that. So looks like a winner around. The incentive token deflationary in the yield farming, and of course Pulse and PulseX, both of the tokens emissions have been put out up front. It only decreases over time with those fees and fee burning. It's going to be absolutely amazing, pushing up the price too with the buy and burn. So pretty awesome stuff there. I think we're looking forward to that kind of ratios. In terms of PulseX, of course, PulseX returns. We got some pretty good stuff here. Obviously, these are ranged and vary. I think PulseX is going to blow all these ones out of the water by a big time. Pancake Swap 44x, Sushi Swap 19x, and those are the big two, right? So I think it's going to blow all those out of the water. So you're looking at possibly PulseX being the first super DEX, and that may even rival the native token PLS over time. Now the public supply, excluding the origin account, which is we're going to exclude that for the argument here, is probably going to be including the public client, maybe about 12.4 trillion public tokens on Pulse, plus maybe another 3 trillion, maybe a bit higher on the AMM bot. That's probably going to be about 16.5 trillion, somewhere like that. It's going to be probably just slightly less than PulseX at around about 17 trillion. So it's going to be interesting to see that approximate ratio there play out. It's pretty similar. And of course, we may in total have about 133, maybe 131, 133 trillion on Pulse, and around about 121, 122 trillion on Pulse X, including the origin account, which we kind of consider inactive liquid holdings. Obviously, time will tell. But based on Hex operations, that would be a reasonable assumption at this stage until proven otherwise. But I think it's looking pretty good to me. On top of that, of course, the sacrifice was pretty impressive for PulseX and Pulsechain. Maybe around about $750 million for Pulse back in July through to the 3rd of August last year, and maybe around about 1.1, just under 1.1, maybe about 1 billion and 80 million, somewhere in that ballpark for Pulse X. Between the 30th of June right through the 28th of February. And of course, both of those had mercy sacrifice periods that ran through to the 6th of April and closed off at that time. So pretty amazing financial support from the community, and that bodes well for massive price pump mentors. Now, those people that sacrifice for those, they are the ones that are getting the public issuance for the sacrifices. For Pulsechain and PulseX at the beginning, as I gave you those numbers before, and that's going to be amazing to see that play out. It's going to be absolutely mind-blowing. Boom. And of course, we know that everybody's going to come over. They're going to need Pulse, so they're going to want Pulse. We know that the big money is going to want Pulse. It's the native token of the chain. And of course, if it's front-running Ethereum with super fast, super cheap fees, it's going to be amazing to see that play out. And of course, everything's identical, right? So yeah, obviously there's user interfaces for projects and stuff like that that will need to be adopted and happen. But of course, once people see the financial value with markets pricing these things up from zero, you can see people follow the money, right? They follow the money, and in this case, follow the crypto. And it's going to be fun to see that play out over the next, say, 18 months. It's going to be really, really crazy. I think in first couple of months with the bridge opening up, with the yield farming, matching ERC20s with PRC20s in the yield farming pool, that's going to drive huge adoption and huge interest, not only from Ethereum, but multiple chains. And of course, the other side of it is we also see the NFT market boom also on Pulsechain, and just as it did on Polygon when OpenSea obviously flourished massively, and then Polygon also flourished big time on the OpenSea there as well. Of course, we're going to have our own custom projects there, things like Mintra, things like Liquid Loans, and other projects. There's so many of them now, and of course, you can get a good list of those. Some of those. Well, actually, most of the good ones that we have aware of here on Discord. You can see a lot of these projects listed already, and we'll add to that as more and more come in and sort of justify being added to that list. Some of these, of course, will do well. Some of them may not do so well. That's just the way crypto works, right? We look at the tokenomics, look at the projects, and we have to make judgments about those. Sometimes they get there in the end, but sometimes they don't get there in the end, right? So you've got a bit of a mixed bag there. So that's pretty cool. That's what's happening. I hope you guys are excited. I'm super excited. For sure. So let's jump on to Hedron. Hedron, of course, a derivative of Hex. So I said we're going to move around. And, of course, Hedron at 12.64 at the moment on the price. Maxi is also at a 1.7 premium to Hex at the moment. And, of course, 22.66 cents. Looking really good. Has crossed over my first period of judgment here. In other words, we typically get parabolic rises. And, of course, then we have a fall off. We see that time and time again in crypto charts. So far, this is doing really well, sustained past this orange line here, which is my opinion, my arbitrary line here that would pass by. We'll see how it gets on, but so far it's looking good, even after yesterday's crypto market crash. So Maxi's looking really good. We want really good derivative products for X. Hedron, Maxi are really, really cool. Both of them have new additions, and of course get Hex off the market. Maxi was phenomenal, got 294.3 million Hex off the market, absolutely stunning, just mind-blowing. And of course the premium to Hex that's been running so far, absolutely incredible. And I had a feeling that it would get so much sell pressure at 40%, and of course it's done way better than that. It's done 80% on 2 days ago, and currently running at 70%. So people are hodling in there. It looks like we've got a little bit of culture of hodling, and of course the more people hodl in there, then the more likely the prices to go up in terms of premium versus Hex. It's going to be fascinating to see that play out. So Pulse Dogecoin, another airdrop to Hex T shareholders. Like I say, Hex is one of those superheroes. So you get it, Batman there. And of course, it's just the way it's going to be. I mean, it's really going to be that golden child on Pulsechain is Hex, and it's going to be fun to see Hex play out over the next couple of years. Hex has a lot of its own special pumper metals, but obviously it's going to flourish within the Pulsechain environment with super fast, super cheap fees. The onboarding is going to be absolutely accelerated there as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, of course, here we are at we're on Binance Smart Chain now. Now we're going off the ETH chain projects. We're on Pulse Dodge here, and of course that's currently at just up to 0.8 of a penny, and that's having a little bit of rebound after having quite a bit of a sell-off there. And of course that has to face with the BNB, right? So BNB is going back up, and of course BNB currently at $306. That was down. What was down about 247, something like that. It was pretty low on the BNB price there, but that's starting to come back. Obviously, also, actually, I just remembered that I didn't talk about Pulse Dodge. That's also on Ethereum. That's currently at $1.98 and on a bit of a rebound, so looking good there on Pulse Dodge. And it's been about 18% of people have claimed so far, about 77 days left to go in the Pulse Dodge claim. It's a 100-day launch phase, and of course, to qualify for that, you have to be a Hex T shareholder on the 20th of April, so you have to be part of that. Obviously, P33 is also on a BNB chain, just like Pulse Dodge. And of course, these won't be copied over, but these will be airdropped by the team. And there we are, 20 cents at the moment on this one, having a little bit of rebound. That was all the way down here for 50 cents, but rallied several days, 2 weeks ago, I guess, rallied back at $2.50. So those people that bought up here, somewhere in here at this ballpark, to $1.80 or higher, they'll definitely be hoping for a rebound there. Because it's been quite a few days. How many days? 20 days, so 3 weeks actually has been there for that time. So cool. So that's pretty much a highlight of that. Let's get into the chat, say hello. And of course, I'm going to get back into the Hex chart here. I'm going to go back into the hourly chart and watch that at the moment. See how we get on there. I'm going to pull up the 20-cent mark there. Let me just scrum that a bit there. Looks good. Let's get into the chat there. We've got a few comments. Let's see what people are talking about. And we got James Bond there. Lunar trade likely to end in tears, but just a bit of fun. Yeah, probably, James. But so far, so good. I've got that on my other computer, James. I'm watching the Lunar price in real time. It's struggling between, it's going between 2 and 3 Gwei or whatever the unit is. So pretty cool. It's looking okay so far. I'm just trying to check out what the portfolio value is. Oh, actually, yeah. So I'm in the money quite a bit. So you must be a lot better in the money than I am, James. But I'm in the money at the moment, so that's not too bad. But my third order did not trade, but it might trade. It might just trade. You never know your luck. Now, there is a few bots there on KuCoin. They set you up for a bit of a fall, so you're going to be worried about those bots. They help make the price go up and then sell on your butt, as it were. Hey, Warped Impulse is in the house. Howdy, Warped Impulse. Good to see you. James Bond says, Hedron holding up through the dump. Fantastic. Yep, it's looking pretty good. There is a bit of a sell wall, apparently. I haven't actually looked at on the liquidity. I probably should do that, to be honest. We're going to jump out of there. And time to DCA into that. Luna says, Warped Impulse. Yeah. So it has been the talk of the town, right? It's the top 10 token. It has fallen dramatically, $60 or something down to, a fraction of a penny. It's unbelievable. It has probably impacted a lot of people in crypto that obviously were big whales or had a good holding there. And of course, it has dramatically made millionaires paupers, as it were, if they hadn't sold out at the high. Some people must have got out at the top, relatively speaking, but I guess a lot of people, done as well. Mr. Frost in the house there. Good morning, sir. And Hex GT in the house there too. What's up? Good to see Hex Token channel member Hex GT in the house. What else we got going? Crypto Paces, TikTok. Yeah, I saw some videos on there on TikTok. I can't remember who was doing that though. I think it was around Pulsechain. I thought it was pretty good. Audio. David says audio. So we're having some problems with the audio. Hope not. A1 says hit the likes, party people, and hi Superman. Hey, good to see A1. You definitely smash those likes out. I'm going to close some of these websites down just to give me a bit more safety there. I have got 16 gigabyte of RAM on here, and of course it is brand new iMac, so hopefully it should be holding up. Woo-hoo, bought at 10.5 cents. A PDC temporary bounce. I'm bullish for PHEX and not sure about the EX prices. Money magnet. Yeah, well, we're going to have some uncertainty about that, but of course, Richard has talked about in the past having good prices on both chains. I suspect we will have good prices in my view. I think there'll be some volatility at the beginning though as we get price discovery on Hex on Pulsechain. I think a stock split kind of idea seems to make sense to me. And of course, if Hex is at 13 cents, maybe 6.5 cents, 6.5 cents on both chains, something like that at this stage. Of course, the price going up. We'll see how that goes. Tufon says, do you count the 100x from sacrifice price or the lowest price after launch? I prefer the lowest price after launch, Tufon, but actually a cost price makes more sense from an individual point of view. But from a global point of view, probably the lowest price after launch. It depends on what context you're talking about. I guess generally speaking, after the market goes, people will be talking about the lowest price as opposed to the sacrifice price, generally speaking. That being said, of course, sacrifices are relatively new. And of course, I guess you could equate them to something like a private issuance. And of course, that is not new. So, yeah. Wonder how much people will be making on staking PulseX. I'm pretty confident that we're getting it a 10 or 20x out of the gate. I just have a feeling there'll be some sharks out there willing to sell into it. That being said, the demand I think is going to be so huge to get Pulse and PulseX. It's going to be pretty unrelenting. I think the dips won't be as deep as we might otherwise see in other tokens. Got to remember that this is all dropping pretty much within a matter of days. So if you think about it, like it's set ramping up within possibly even within 2 hours, 2 or 3 days. So it's pretty fast. And then of course a month later to 8 weeks later, we've got liquid loans coming, and I think that's going to offer some huge upside as well. And who knows when Fiat comes out with the Aave fork, and that's also another leverage pumpamental. Leverage plays really do pile up those asset values pretty fast, especially ones that you don't have to sell and you don't have to pay too much interest in it. Because remember, liquid loans, it's like a 0.5% fee on there, and it's got mostly larger players, $20,000 players and above, playing that game. David Gomez says, hello everybody, make sure you have all your ERC20s based on MMB4 MetaMask before the snapshot for Pulsechain, because you don't want to be dependent on a centralized exchange. Coinbase already said if they did or something like that. I'm not sure. If they go bankrupt, you may lose your crypto. Yeah. So if you want to participate in the fork, you really need to have your assets off the centralized exchanges, get them into a MetaMask or something equivalent, hard wallet, Treasure, Ledger, something like that, and of course protect yourself as well. So really important stuff there. The exchanges are unlikely, based on past history, to credit you for those tokens, and we'll see what the exchanges actually do with all those tokens that they have on there as well. It's going to be interesting. I'm not sure what Richard's doing around that area. Cookies and Crypto says, woohoo, we're at it again. We are indeed. Good to see you in the house. Two phones in the house there, a thumbs up. You have definitely smashed the like button. We've got 54 likes and we've got 97 watching at the moment, so we definitely smashed it up. Cool. Hey, looking at what am I up to? I'm up to doing not too bad on the profits there. I've got Luna on the other computer here because I'm on KuCoin. I'm just watching that because we were in the Discord talking with each other, and we haven't put big money in this. Like we're talking, I don't know. I think I've gone $70 or something like that. So we're just playing around with little bits of money, but because none of us want to get wrecked. It's pretty much at the bottom. I mean, I really can't see it being able to go much further, at least on this trading pair. But we'll see. Obviously, not investment advice, just me talking about what we've been mucking around with, throwing $50, $70. Of course, we could have done it earlier, right? We could have done it when Luna was at $5, when it was at $2, when it was at $1. $1 was really tricky. People were saying $1, and I was like, oh, nah, it's going down further. It went down, and then it was like 30, 40 cents. Go, nah, it's going further. It's going further down. And then, of course, it went under 20 cents, and it's like, woo, and I thought, oh, that's kind of looking, I look track. Now I go to myself, nah, it's going further down. and went under 10 cents. It was like 7 cents. And I was looking at 7 cents going, it's going 7 cents. Nah, it's going further. Anyway, it went right down into a fraction. And of course, fraction. And so what's it at the moment? And so we were waiting for that. And then it got down to the fact that you could do one quay or whatever on it. And so that's when I thought, oh yeah, that's kind of the lowest on KuCoin. So that's like that's when we start buying, right? When the buy book doesn't seem to be able to go much lower. So it's pretty hilarious on there. Yeah, fun times. Anyway, not investment advice, of course, just us mucking around. Zana says, like it up, fam bam, and definitely do that. And Binance, sorry, I'm super excited. That's why I'm having spelling issues. That's all good. Can you adjust streaming quality settings so that it can be to 1080p or higher? Let me have a look. I'm not sure if I can do that. Let me have a look on there. General settings. Yeah, it's I'll have to work on that next. I think I can probably fix that up after the live stream. I'll look at that 8K on the 1080p. I'll look at that because it's on 720 at the moment. So I'll see if I can upgrade that. It's now says join the Hex Token Discord server to continue the chat anytime. Yeah, definitely get into the chat, folks. We're on how many people? 345, heading towards 350 is our next target. Need 5 more members to get in there, folks. It's a great place for information and community chat there. And of course, we talk about all sorts of other things as well. We've got price chats, we've got non-crypto chats, we've got new tokens and airdrop chats, and of course, new links there. You can check out a lot of the projects that we're aware of on Pulsechain, in addition to whatever's coming over from Ethereum. And of course, useful links there are pretty cool too. Everything about Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex here, all the great links. And we're going to make this the ultimate list, and it's coming along pretty nicely. It's got everything, all the main stuff there at the moment. We've got lots more links there. Short video tours as well, 2 to 5 minutes long. Definitely check that out. Very, very cool on PulseX and Pulsechain. Let's have a look here. So we've got Terra at the moment. Terra actually did another, after we did the live stream, Terra did another another hold of the blockchain at block 760. So 7,607,000. Terra validators have hold of the network to come up with a plan to reconstitute it. More updates to come. So that was pretty dramatic. I'm going to link that again. I don't think there's been an update since then. That was 3 hours ago. So that's pretty much. Look how many likes, 16,000, 7,000 likes. Pretty crazy. And I'm looking here on the Terra Block Explorer, and we can see that they're at, I think, block 607. Yeah, 677. So what block was that? 670778. So yeah, that's still locked on that block. So it's just still stuck there at the moment. But man, oh man, that's going to be crazy to see that. We've got the stake there, we've got the inflation there, we've got all the validators in there, so pretty cool. All right, so that was pretty interesting. That was, I said the update of Terra was going to be pretty short. That was pretty much it. We got BTC there, 30,600, looking really good. And let's have a look back at the history here. Just say we're going to mix it up a bit today in today's live stream. We have got, we were down all the way down here from 40K, man. That was so fast, wasn't it? 40K, 5th of May. All the way down to the low here, 12th of May, 6 o'clock in the morning. And of course, now we've managed to rise up pretty dramatically. So what were we at there? 26,000, I think we were, up to 30. So already recovered like $4,000 or $5,000. Man, oh man, what volatility is this, eh? Pretty crazy stuff. So cool, up 13%. Not bad at all. Let's see how we go. Hopefully it can hold and sustain this and slowly move up. Some people are talking about 35, 37,000. We'll see how that goes. And ETH, of course, dramatic too. Back up at $2,108. So nice. Generally green everywhere. BNB back over 300. Sol there, 52. AVAX 34. XRP 45 cents. 8 at 58 cents. So nice to see the green back. Now the USD tether here has gone back to par. $1, and of course USDC is at $1 as well. So that's interesting to add a bit of a challenge on there on the books there. So fantastic stuff there. Woohoo! All right, let's get back in here. We've got a few others. Dave says it's very hard to compare what other blockchains did because Pulse won't start from scratch, and there has not been anything like PulseX. Dave, that's 100% true. That's why I say, and we talk about these comparisons because they're kind of the best things we got. But really, it's going to absolutely smash a lot of stuff, I reckon. And I do think PulseX could be very much the first super dex for sure. Four Fives in house. What's up, brothers? Good to see you in house. Yeah, DB Cooper says, Mike, no grats, Luna tattoo. Yeah, we talked about that earlier today. If you haven't seen that, it was hilarious. And of course, man, I often think he's a very good talker. What does he do? Does he go on CNBC and things like that? But man, oh man, what a mistake that has turned out to be. He'll put that down the books, and of course, a permanent one, right? I think it's pretty hard to get those tattoos off, isn't it? So crazy stuff there. My Luna trade's still sitting in the market there. It's pretty funny. Now I'm only talking about Luna because it's a bit of fun. Obviously, it's very sensitive to people that have lost quite a bit of stuff out there. So I do feel for you. But from our point of view, James Bond House there. Some of the Luna profits have coffee on Luna. Hey, nice one there, James. Yeah, you got a better rate than me, James. I know it. You picked up. I don't know what I did. Something didn't quite go wrong because I haven't been on a centralized exchange for ages. I used to live there and breathe there, right? But it's been a long time. I've been in decentralized land for a long time, and so getting back on the KuCoin was a bit funny. But I did a trade on there. One of them didn't quite behave the way I thought it was going to be, but definitely in the money now here. I just have a feeling that we could actually definitely move up there. Cool. Let's go into the top here. We're going to go back here. Appreciate that too. Bow down from Superman for the super sticker. Nice, $5.55. I love the 555s. Really is a good vibe. A good vibe there. Let's jump through some of these. I think I'm actually not too bad. What else we got here? Bluff City says, bro, you're smoking something to think a 20x out of the gate is a beer. Says Bluff City. I'm not sure what that a beer. I'm not sure what that means. Please be realistic, says Bluff City. You're welcome, man. Everyone's free there. I said 10 to 20x. I think you forgot the 10x part there. John Rambo's in the house there. Whoop whoop. Good to see you in the house there. Pro Review says Luna is looking good. Lol. Yeah. And Robin Hood's on there. Hi, late. What have we missed? Is Robin Hood? Not too much there. What else here? Bluff City says Hex can't even pass 20 cents, and people say 20x low. People are going to panic sell PulseX and Pulse day one because of market conditions. We're not safe. Hex will pump massively to near launch of Pulsechain. We'll see. We'll see how that goes there for you. Boot the like, folks. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And James Bond says, I did buy some at 30 cents wrecked DCA and now looking good, says James. Nice one. That's pretty hilarious. Could Luna hyperinflate to more or infinite supply, or is the max supply limited? C's topped at 6.5 trillion. It's not limited, it's unlimited. But of course, they've stopped the chain there. I'm not sure what else. I think they've stopped a few other things in the ecosystem as well. Not financial advice, says James. Absolutely. I believe Hedron is severely undervalued, says Matt. I do too. But it's got a bit of a block on there, and there's a lot of volume there. Matt, I do think that relatively, even with large volumes, you can still move the prices, right? Marginal price there. Fascinating. All right, cool. What else we got there? D-Base says Hex tank further than Hedron did, says D-Base. And Hex GT says, can you imagine the demand for RH stablecoin now? I absolutely, Hex GT, that's a really good topic. So stablecoin RH, man, it's going to be amazing. And I'm sure he'd design it with the ultimate. It would probably be an exogenous one, just like USDL is. USDL does look like it will be the principal stable coin, in my opinion, obviously backed by Pulse itself. And of course, it's actually not doing any burn function. There's no issuance between an endogenous system like Terra Luna with the Luna and the UST. So I think that's going to be way superior. We see Liquidity operates pretty well. It has very quick to get back to peg. So no doubt that Richard will try and come up with the ultimate token as well for the stablecoin. Going to be pretty cool. The best, of course, is pretty much if you got a one-to-one redemption, right, in fiat. So if you have one of those kind of things, it's going to be interesting. I guess you could lock it away, make it interesting. You need to lock it away and make it redeemable, I guess, just without a custodial. That probably would be a better model. Why are you ignoring my chats? If you don't believe me, look it up and go for yourself. And Joe Paris go over it on the last video, that pulse play. Not sure what that's about. So I'm not sure what that conversation there is about. Chat hiding, Superman. Oh, sorry about that. Squids do better than Luna. It says Hex Huddle. Oh man, Squid, that was funny, man. That was funny. Just made me choke on my beer. Hex Huddle. What else we got? MetaMask is asking for 0.002 per Luna. Rip-off. Yeah, that's a rip-off, all right. That's a major rip-off there, MTD. Headroom will flip Luna. Soon, says MTD. Absolutely it will. Hey, we're up to doing pretty well here. 13.3 cents on Hex. And like I say, I think it'll be a retail that moves this and on the Hex price based on the fact the behavior we've had over the last few weeks and months. And of course, the Gwei's coming down finally, 63. That's still high. 109, just like I said, 63. And it's coming down. It goes jumped up to 109 there. Man, this thing is hard to keep hold of, this Gwei price. Hedron currently at 12.34. There's a big sell wall apparently. Haven't looked at it, but apparently so. There's a lot of Hedron, right? So if we go to the Hedron contract, we'll have a look on the blockchain. 76.8 trillion Hedron, but that doesn't necessarily hold back the price. But obviously there's a big wall there at the moment. I'll probably look at that off here so I can muck around and check that out. Maxi is at 1.7 versus Hex, man. That's crazy. 70% premium. Amazing stuff there. And of course, we go to the contract there. We can also see 294.3 million Maxi. So that's looking good. PLSD is at 1.98. And 1.98 is not bad, man. I mean, that's holding out really well. That's, remember, it launched at $1 and it's basically at $2. So looking pretty good. It is in a downtrend though. But we did have the big crypto market pullback interrupt the price there. So maybe it wouldn't have broken this low here. Maybe it would have been able to keep that and gone up there. So far, so good though. $2, man, for an airdrop. And the supply's limited, right? So once this launch phase comes out, I actually think this token might do pretty well. Because once you get that fixed the supply level, you can get big whales come in and buy up a lot of supply. And of course, that makes it a lot less likely that it can be pushed down. So this could end up being kind of the surprise token there. The other thing that, of course, is that the PD address and of course the origin account both get 10 PLSD tokens per claimant. So you just got to take that into account at the end of the 100-day launch phase. And number of claimants so far is 16,281. So what's about 160,000 each, something like that. Max cap is going to be 12 million though, and I don't think it's going to get close to that. So cool. And Pulse Dodge coin there is at 8 cents of a penny on a bit of a comeback there. Anything on a BNB chain is going to be a little bit more difficult to manage, obviously, because the teams have to allocate that. P33 is the FreePulse airdrop. Now they've said some big stuff on other chains, so let's pull them up because we're talking about now. You guys know that I was disappointed with the way they set this up originally. But I heard the founders, the coders here for FreePulse on a live stream yesterday, at least a recording, and they gave me the answer that I've been looking for. So I'm happy to talk about FreePulse now because they clarified the FP stuff there, so the fundraising. So I'm happy with that now. So you probably will hear me talking about these guys quite freely now. So that was pretty cool. And of course, I think they've talked about something like upwards of 100,000 users and something like 150,000 hits or something on the site. So this looks really good for onboarding. So this could end up playing pretty well. Obviously, gambling is not something you should be, get too crazy about. Obviously, it's something you have to think about because if you're trying to make money, gambling is going to lose you money, right? So this is what happens. You get addicted to it. And before you know it, you've waited for a year for Pulsechain, some of you, and if you spend all your pulse on the gambling, then you just wasted a year and you lost all your crypto. So you're trying to make money or you're trying to gamble because gambling is really addictive, right? You always think you can double down and win. So just be careful out there on that one. And I know that because I run a YouTube channel that has BitFury on it, and I always put that advice on there for them because obviously people are going to play it anyway. But once again, you've got to be very careful with this stuff that doesn't get out of control. It's always fine to have a bit of fun, but entertainment. But you got to be able to. So it's like drinking. You can have some social drinks if you don't want to become an alcoholic. You just, you know what I mean. You got to set some boundaries for yourself so you don't doesn't become a vice for you. Rather than just, it's an enjoyment, but not a vice. That's probably the way to put it. So cool. That's going pretty good. You can see there's 472 people here on the chat here, which is obviously showing that it's doing pretty well there. What's that, about 0.5% of the people that have signed up or something? So that's pretty good as well. Now, obviously, it's on testnet at the moment, so all the pulses are fake, but they're going to be able to provide a claim up to $200 of free pulse every hour. Now, I think they'll adjust that amount as Pulsechain goes on, with the price of pulse and all that sort of stuff. But also they've got an FTP shares. This is stuff that I had a problem with, just the way that they talked about this. But they were saying on the video that it's really not about giving them a windfall money, and as opposed to making this last longer in the future, because obviously in the short term at least they'll be funding POTS and Pulse there from their own prosperity in terms of Hex and things. So I think that's probably in their Pulse Sacrifice, so that bodes well. So I might have another read through this, and we might probably talk about this again on a live stream. So we'll see. Now, I know that Magic Carpet Ride team are running different pools here. I got the free Magic Carpet Ride team here running a pool. I'm just going to scroll it up there so you can see that a bit better. And you can see their pools there. They're running stuff there and free pulse as well. That's also on the sacrifice balances here. So we'll pull it up. So we're going to go sacrifices here. We're going to scroll down to the sacrifice pools. So this is the free pulse pool here for the FP raise here. Now they've got two competing pools, the FP pool and the free carpet ride pool. So these are competing. I'm not sure which one's actually winning at the moment. And I'm not actually sure the full gamification of that either. So I just let you know that as a disclaimer. This is, what's that one there? I think that's might have dropped out. 333,000 that one and 81 on that one. So I'm pretty sure this is the Magic Carpet Ride one. And it's pretty hard to beat the Magic Carpet Ride these days. So cool. I'll probably read that up and to catch myself up to speed on that one. And we'll get back talking about that stuff as well. Cool VIP, as we say. So we're going to talk about, obviously, liquid loans. We're going to cover that quickly. And boom. Let's get into liquid loans. We're going to get up to some of the chats here first. Probably Review Superman getting a few trolls these days because your channel content is superb. Yeah, probably Review. That's what happens when you grow in the community. That's what happens. But hey, as long as you're the real deal, things turn out okay in the end, I should say. All right, so the Pulse player in the house there, go look it up, says Pulse player. I'm not sure what Pulse player is talking about in the chat there. Binance might list Pulse, says DB Cooper. Yeah, that would be awesome. It'd be insane for exchanges not to list Pulse, right? If you want the main game in town, man, we're going to be in the main game regardless of what exchanges do. So I suspect that they will do. It makes a lot of sense. It'd be kind of silly not to. It's now easy now. Follow up on Discord, and Deb says, I don't think your original comment went through, so he doesn't have context. I know what you're talking about, and it is, if true, great news. Yeah, sorry, I don't, Pulse Player, I don't know what the comment was, the original comment was, so sorry if I haven't answered that one. Post it again in the chat there, and I should be able to see that. Let me just go into that one. I'm going to change it to live chat. I keep forgetting to change it to live chat, so hopefully that shows up there. DB in house there, Novogats can touch up his attack to say tuna, modify the wolf to a tuna wolf. That's funny, man. That's that tattoo. The Pulse player, where is the comment? I'm just trying to, is it all the way back up here somewhere? Is this the one here? Binance, sorry, I'm super excited about what I'm, I think might be a bit further up then. Pulse player. Going up here. No, sorry, I can't see the original one, but it was about Binance listing. I think that's what who else was saying that DB Cooper says here. Binance, I think it's Binance one there. Cool. All right, cool VIP, as we say. All right, so liquid loans, we're going to play a couple videos. Obviously, if you sacrifice for liquid loans, it was the biggest one. And of course, this is where you can put your pretty much put your pulse in and open up a loan with USDL tokens. And of course, that's pretty much going to lock it. There's no burn factor, sort of mint and burn. It's kind of just a locking in your pulse. And of course, $1 of pulse USDL is always going to be redeemable for $1 worth of pulse. And that means it's It's within the system, right? So it doesn't have Pulse is an external token to the to Liquid Loans. It's not internal there, and of course it's going to be over collateralized. So those two are very big differences from Looney. Looney? Did I say Looney? Did I say Looney? Yeah, Looney. Yeah. What is it? Lunatics? Hashtag Lunatics, something like that. Anyway, so we can get into the videos. I'm starting to procrastinate now. Let me play the first one. This is the first update, and this was out, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday morning early. So this is the first one here around about the testnet, so being able to test Liquid Loans.
That's been coming up recently has been about the testnet, and will people see Liquid Loans on the testnet anytime soon?
Yeah, so the guys are working really, really hard at the moment to get all of that up and running. And the difference here is that we didn't really want to push something out ahead of time, so it's got to be pretty much complete. And one of the things that will help us on that journey is to make sure that we've got active price calls. So the guys are integrating, obviously, PulseX is one mechanism that we'll use. There's another mechanism that I won't go into a lot of detail now, but it will provide some redundancy for being able to make price calls against PulseX. And the guys are working hard to get that finished. So my expectation is that we'll end up seeing something in the next couple of weeks. The rationale being, we don't ever want to release anything before it's really ready. And, I think the community appreciates that when we deliver content, it's actually of high quality. So we're not going to rush anything out until the product, or basically the system and the Dapp are actually up and running fully, and that we can actually allow people to fully test what we've developed.
So that was the first update, obviously, around the testnet, being able to test Liquid Loans. They want to make it sure it's all like up to scratch. And of course, the price of PLS they'll be pulling, I guess it's going to be the PLSX one, but that's kind of fantasy land at the moment. But obviously, when Pulsechain launches about a month to 2 months after that, Liquid Loans is expected to launch there. So I think it should be pretty good. I don't know lots of stuff going on in the chat there. I'm not sure what's happening in the chat there. So that's cool. And the second part, of course, is the sacrifice. If you sacrifice with Liquid Loans, the sacrifice balance update. So we'll check that out too.
Popping up is about the sacrifice balances. People are asking about when can they see their sacrifice balance and how many points they have and what's not.
Yeah, I know that we're very close to releasing something on that front. Obviously, we're doing some internal testing of that now. So the balances have been calculated. We've incorporated all of the different mechanisms that we had included initially in the sacrifice phase, including the referral content. So all of that's been incorporated. And obviously, we'll do the internal testing. We'll pilot test with a couple of folk that we know that can help us through that process. And then we'll release something out to the community so that they can start reviewing their balances and coming back to us with any queries and questions. So that's imminent. My expectation is within the next week, we'll end up seeing something. So folks will be able to start checking their balances and just confirming that all the calculations are correct.
So that was around the sacrifice balances, and pretty cool. I kind of laughed at when they said we got some people will get testing. I kind of thought, oh, do I know who those are? I just had a feeling it was particular groups, but that was pretty funny. Yeah, so that's cool. That was the update. It was pretty nice, and yeah, looking good. So obviously we're looking forward to Pulsechain coming up, and of course we had Rich Hart do an update on that, so that was pretty good with Wendy O. And of course that was possibly 2 weeks or possibly even earlier. Crypto is difficult though. Software is difficult. So that was about the 24th for Hex. The 24th there is kind of when that spelled out there from between the 10th when the live stream was on, the 24th there. So cool. And then of course we had Brent X video yesterday, which he did on the 26th of April, talking about that he talked to Richard, and he thought Richard was pretty serious, talking about a month from there. So 4 weeks, I think it was. So that would have been about 20, around about 26 a month or something like that. So 24th, 26th looks pretty good. We will see. And we're also going to see, the interesting thing is going to see how Richard gamifies the launch, or whether he just does a really straight off the bit there. And we've got a nice comedy here. We've got the Hex Down Under says, can you twerk like Richard Hart? I don't think so. Proof of twerk, I think Richard Hart created that. I think he is the only one that can actually do it properly. the proof of work there. So if you haven't seen on Crypto Wendy O's show, Richard Hart did a proof of work there. It was a bit of fun on there, but you can also see it on Richard Hart's Twitter as well. So pretty cool. Bro says, Richard Hart, waiting to fix this. Hex sitting at 202 and Terra Luna was sitting at 201 there. That man on coin market crap, as we call it. But there we are. So there we are, 202. It's silly, right? That's just the way we go there. Why don't you fix this, says Richard. Absolutely. And we'll smash that out there. Was it? So yeah, Luna about 5 whole 95% drops in the last month. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff there on Luna. So Richard's been covering Luna as well. We've been covering Luna. It is the talk of the town at the moment. Some of us have decided to throw $50 or so at it. I think I've got 60. How much did I put it there? I put so let's see how I did. I put $50 at it. I threw $50 at it, and it's already up. Already up to my $50 is up to $100, I think. So there we are. That's not too bad. In an hour, whatever it was, 2 hours. Lies beneath in the house there. Hello, how are you today? And of course, hello all. Hex, PLS, and PLSX for the win. Absolutely, I'm with you 100% on that. Hex Down Under says, how are you doing? How are you today, Superman? Much planned for the weekend. More sci-fi. So sci-fi movies. I'm really a sci-fi movie buff. I love obviously fantasy movies as well. So yeah, probably doing more of that. I've got my mates coming over. They're all sci-fi buffs as well. So yeah, gonna enjoy that. Probably go up for some walks, hopefully, as well. Let's see how we get on the market. Woo! Obviously had a nice little rebound there. Just sitting around over support here on both of them, both over 30 and over 2,000. And the Gwei at the moment, 94 Gwei. How we're doing for time? 6:23 p.m. here on Friday. It's already the weekend. It's already hit the 6:23 p.m. in the evening, and that's pretty cool. Let's jump out of some of this. We're going to jump over to. Don't forget to get into Discord as well. We've got 345 members, heading up to 350. Stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of fun in there. And yeah, we'll get out of there and get out of there. We're going to go to Rack and Michelle, see what he's been up to as well. And then we're going to have a look at some of the projects here. What else we got here? Living the dream there on his big boats. What else? Living his dream on the big boats there. Looks like, I don't know where he lives, but is it Florida? Somewhere like that, I think it is. So looking pretty cool. That's with the highest of stakes team, by the way. So all the highest of stake teams there on the boat, having a good time. So that's pretty cool. I'm not sure if there's got sound there. But you can see them moving around on the keys there, having a good time. The highest of stakes to film crew. So that's pretty cool. You can check that out. Actually, I'm going to post that link in the chat there if you want to check that out. Highest of stakes. Highest of stakes. Check out that Rack and Rochelle video. Pretty cool. We're going to jump away from there. And of course, we're going to go to the new links here. So if you haven't checked on Discord, we've got new links here. And of course, we've got all these projects. Look at them all. Internet Money, Power City, Mintra NFT Marketplace, NFT on Pulse, Pulseverse, Pulsalorian, Lithias, Maximus, Pulse Dogecoin, PLS Speak here, Love, Pulse 33, Algo, Hexbear, Kira, Fiat, Hurry Cash, Pulse LN, Liquid Loans, FreePulse, and of course Pulse Dodge, Chaos. What else we got there? Pulse Pot, Pulse Abides, and Pulse Shiba. Now, some of these may not do very well. Some of them may do exceptionally well. That's just the way it goes. But we've got so many projects on in the house now. It's crazy stuff. Let's actually go to CoinGecko and actually see how many stuffs here that we've got. We've got, how many does it say we've got on projects? I thought you used to have a list of projects numbers that we had up here. Yeah, coins, 13,425 coins just on CoinGecko. Obviously, there's tens of thousands now, right? Every cat and dog is minting their own token these days, and it's pretty crazy. 611 exchanges. Is that insane or what? 611 exchanges. Crazy stuff there. Hey, it's good to see the global market cap too. Global market cap, I'm going to just increase this a little bit there. Global market cap is now just under 1.4 trillion. Remember, we got over 3 trillion at the height of the bull market. 13.5% increase today, not too bad, and so forth. BTC dominance 42%. And here's our top exchanges. So, man, the question is, Pulsechain, with PulseX being will it be the first super DEX, decentralized DEX that is, and that's what DEX means. So it will be the first super DEX, and will it be able to challenge some of the volumes here in these top players, especially when the volumes are really high during these high volatile periods? It's going to be fascinating in there at the moment. So that's all exchanges there. You can see KuCoin. Obviously, Pulsechain get it listed. Binance maybe. KuCoin. We know which ones of these going to be listed here. Richard has talked about Pulsechain getting listed, so could be on one of these. It's going to be fascinating. We've got DEXs as well. DEXs. Oh man, DEX volume at the moment. 15.5 billion. We were sitting around 4 to 5 billion. Remember, that's how much stuff's gone through the DEX in the last 24 hours. Insane. Look at Uniswap version 3, 4 billion, and of course the gas fees have been super high, right? As well. Crazy stuff there. PancakeSwap, almost 800 million there. BuySwap there, 377. SushiSwap, 350 million. Man, could you see how PulseX is going to absolutely fly, in my opinion? People that like to pretend that we're going to do low X returns on these chains are dreaming. Obviously, do your own investment due diligence, but we're going to have pretty exciting returns, in my view, coming out of the gate. What else we got going there? Good to see BC and ETH back up. Absolutely property view. I agree with you. We got IM in the house there. Wow, yeah, and diamonds from Francis. Nice. Good to see IM in the house there. It's now says if you have not joined Discord, please do so, folks. Imagine having the chat running 24/7. Hex Token chat anytime you want. Join it here. Absolutely, I agree with that. So definitely get in and join up. We're heading towards 350 members, and it's really is a great place for community chat. And you can get a lot of help from people. We've got people that know knowledge about different stuff. So definitely get into that. There's a syndicated Discord. We've got Jen Hex, Craig in there. And we've got Heinz Crypto. We've got It's Now, and many other really cool community members in there. So definitely get into that. Let's jump over to the price. Hex at the moment, 13.35 cents. And like I say, I'm expecting most of the drive in the retail price of Hex to be driven by the retail book. And I think a lot of the big players will probably get after Pulsechain launches. That said, you never know. People, they might just come in. We'll see. But the retail book can push the price up pretty high. Liquidity is not too high at the moment to do that. And of course, as people buy, if you know how the Uniswap version 2 pools work, they just start to really ramp up pretty quickly. We've got 169 million Hex in the pool, 20.2 million USD and 3,200 ETH in there. So just basically if you've got more net buyers on there, then it's going to start going. The price is still going to go up. That's just the way it works. So cool. We haven't heard much from the Hex Investment Trust. At least I haven't seen anything regarding the big buying. Buying and never selling. They were looking at $10 million within 3 months. So whether they're just accumulating positions there, I presume that they've had quite a bit contributed to them already. They have also their advisory service over $1 billion under management, technically speaking. There, obviously, they get people on their books. They might have a certain amount of net worth there. And of course, they have a lot more people growing in that as well. This also accepts IRA types as well, and also opened up to accepting in-kind Hex as well. So you can take your Hex, put it into the trust. Eventually, you'll get issued a unit that you can trade when they publicly list. So their goals are 10 million within 3 months was the original comment from Kinetics. And I think they also around about 50 people that participate. So we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see something like that. If you have heard anything, let me know. I did try to keep abreast of that. But of course, I may have missed stuff from time to time. But definitely, if you have heard something, let us know. What else we got here? Francis of the Hearts looking good. D Money's in the house too. I'm here. Always like your arrival, D Money. Church of the Universal Oneness is in the house as well. Peace and abundance of good to you all. I love that too. And Joe Parrish from around the block, his latest video, there was a clip of him showing Pulsechain on Binance. Oh, really? Okay, I'll try and check that out. Hodl generation. Let me just clip that actually, so I don't forget. Let's look there. Bam. All right, have a look at that later. And live long and prosper and pack your own parachute. Yeah, that's true. Can Luna recover, says Hex Down Under. Well, we talked about that already. The Luna team has done a block hole on the blockchain at 7,607,789. And they're trying to Terra Velos have hold the network up with a plan to reconstitute the network. Obviously, they're working on the tokenomics. They've got a vote on at the moment. We've already covered that in this morning's live stream in depth. We covered it in depth. If you want to see commentary on that, we really went through the whole lot. We went through all these tweets here in the first live stream, so definitely check that out. You can see the block height still stuck at that current block height on the Block Explorer. So this is on atomscan.com. And we'll just come down to the Terra blockchain down here, and of course shows us what's going on there. Cool VIP. What's the price at the moment? Let's have a look here on KuCoin. Yeah, just it's just fighting around 1 to 2 Gwei, maybe 3 Gwei at best on KuCoin at the moment. Obviously, every Gwei makes a real big difference in the price that you get. So just let you know that. So we'll see how that goes. It was having a whole ton of buying. It's just had a bout of selling on there. Yeah, I'll be watching that just for fun. I'm watching that for fun. Let's see how we go. In a couple of weeks' time, if they do fix up a lot of stuff, the Terra could be back at $5, $10. You never know. You never know your luck. That's why I love crypto. Woohoo! It's always good to have just a little bit of fun and a few extra projects. Obviously, Richard Hart Maxi channel. So we're mostly going for high probability, right? Playing probability. And of course, the Richard Hart products are the golden products. Hex, of course, and we're about to have Pulsechain and PulseX. It's just like a dream come true. It's going to be so much fun. All right, so there we are. Let us go on with some other stuff here. So we'll jump out of there. Man, if we imagine us doing, some high DEX volumes, becoming a super DEX, and of course, but challenging the valuation of the main chains, that'd be amazing. And of course, even challenging the big centralized exchanges, getting our volumes up into this level. Imagine a buy and burn on that. Wow, be incredible, right? Be incredible. So let's see how we get on. I think we've got all the right stuff to do it. So I'm excited to see that happen. Easy says no. Rip Luna says easy. Yeah, they're in big trouble. No, don't get me wrong. Easy, Luna's in big trouble. But they've also got a lot of infrastructure running, right? They've got a lot of infrastructure running. Let me just we're going to close to. Let me go back to the main stuff here. I'm gonna go. Let me just zoom out of this again. I just can't remember where I found it, but let me pause that. Let me go back to coins, and we're going to do a filter, and we're going to zero. Yeah, bam. So they've got a lot of stuff running, under the Terra network. This is their Terra economy, as it were, on CoinGecko. They've got all the protocols running. There's all the prices of all the related Terra stuff here running at the moment. They're obviously a bit of a bounce back on most of these. On the hourly, 24 for 7 days look pretty blismal, but there's a lot of the ecosystem built around it. So that, obviously being in top 10, they have a lot of bridges connecting chains. They have a lot of staking DeFis and lots of other stuff on here. It really is quite a big deal. Terra Land and all sorts of stuff here. You can see the big stuff at the top here, the market caps still in the house there. So let's see. They're obviously in big trouble though, and they need to do, who knows what, if they can pull out a rabbit out of the hat. We will see. I'm taking a speculative punt with 80 bucks. Well, I've only bought $50 worth, so that's it. Let's see how it goes. Even if let's imagine that they get some solution back and the chain starts working properly and the tokenomics are screwed, but they manage to get back a little bit of value. You just never know. It's part of the fun. All right, let's get into some comments here. Whole General says, just imagine those cross bridging from chain to chain. If the Binance listing is true, things could ramp up really quick. Hex generation, you're absolutely right. And this is what I said, that we could see a lot of third-party chains as well. It really is a big deal, the whole generation. I'll check that video out though, and let's see where that goes. Cool. Nice. We're up to an hour and 20 minutes. Not too bad at the moment. Hour and 30. What time is it? 6:36. So we'll keep going for the time being. What we got Terra. We've got Terra stablecoin at the moment at 13.3 cents. And I think the Luna's Terra Luna, is it in here? No. Let's go back to the chains up here. Is it still sitting on the top there? I think it might be. Oh, they made it 201 on a CoinMarketCap. Let's go to CoinMarketCap. I should say CoinMarketCap. Let's go to CoinMarketCap. Bam. And let's have a look. I think they put it on the second page, didn't they? Richard showed. Page 3. Yes. This Hex. Hex on page 201. Man, they're mean, aren't they? Aren't they mean just leaving us there? They just pinned us there. It's so untransparent. It's just, these guys are terrible. These guys are terrible, really. There. We got Liquidity USD there, LUSD. This is what liquid loan's going to be like. This. Where is? I thought they were. Have they fallen? Oh, there are. Luna 225. At least they're not next to Hex now. Of course, they're showing up at 5.5 there. Man, the price disparity on the trading pairs is insane. Look at some of the price variations here in the different trading pairs. I noticed that Wrap Luna was like really expensive. It's bizarre. Wrap Luna on Ethereum. I'm not sure what's happening in that pool. It was bizarre. And yeah, really variance here. 8 on these, all these different pairs. USD Tether, that is different pairings. Let's have a look at the boom, do it that way. BTC pair. Okay, that's not. There's some quite a big variations there. BUSD, quite big variations there. What else are we looking at there? USD, quite variations there. I think that Binance that actually had taken them off or something like that, had taken them off there. Anyway, we shouldn't digress too much. Let's get into the main story here. Hex currently at 13.27 cents, the quiet before the storm. And of course, the Gwei price finally coming down a little bit there. I'm enjoying it. Hope you guys are too. And the market here, just get back over these key lines here. They've still got to build up from here though. So let's not count all our chickens at once. But I'm glad to see them back here. To be honest. Maxi in the house there, 1.7. PLSD at 195. Pulse Dodge at 7/8 of a penny, and P33 at 20 cents. All right, cool. Let's just leave it on the Hex price there. We'll get into the chat. Morris says, enjoy your weekend, everybody. Yeah, definitely enjoy your weekend. Love the streams. Keep it up. Woo-hoo-hoo, says Aussie DeFi. I appreciate that. Big shout out to you. And John says, Pulsechain, PulseX, Hex Token, all in chat. Thank you. Super cool. You're welcome there, John. And we're excited. Hopefully we'll all do super duper well. That's what we're looking forward to. And I'm just looking at, I got the trades that I made on that system. I'm going to leave it for a week or so or whatever. I'm going to keep track of it, but we'll see. That's amusing in any case. I haven't been on a centralized exchange for a long time too. That's what's funny about it. And it's weird, but kind of being back there on stuff. I've been on Dexes and Bridges and everything else. It's kind of weird. All right, cool. Let us get into some of these. We're going to let me get out of there. Man, that Dex volume is so promising. Imagine us doing Dex volumes like that. Multi-billion-dollar Dex volumes on PulseX. Oh my gosh. It's going to be so amazing with the buy and burn. Woo! That's if you have I'm not sure what's if you have like $3 billion of trade volume in PulseX, it's something like $2 million of buy and burn, right? Amazing. Imagine we get that position. That'd be so amazing. A day. Sensational. That'd be awesome. Be pretty amazing. All right. Let us coming up here. We're up to an hour and 24 minutes. We're probably going to go up to, sometimes I do 2 hours on here, but we'll get up to an hour and a half, see how we get on, and then I'll let you guys know. Now, I asked if anyone wanted to do a poll today, so let me know if you want to do a poll in the chat there. Let me know. We've still got probably a little bit of time to do that. And if you haven't got into the links, of course, we've gone through the new token links. I went through those earlier, so you can check some of those out. Some of these I don't actually like, so Pulse Abides, I don't like that one very much. Maybe this Love one, I like that one very much. Yeah, Hex Bear, I'm not too sure about Hex Bear either. Now, Kira apparently is going to be an airdrop, so there's going to be a couple of these tokens going to be airdrops. We'll see how those come when they come. Got to be careful with the airdrops. We're just slow and surely try and check them out. The other thing, of course, up in the top here, we've got useful links, and of course, this is really cool. We've got all the general links here for the main stuff: Hex, Pulsechain, PulseX. We've got the Hex stuff here. Lots of cool charts there. There's a lot more, right? So I'm going to be adding those into here. I haven't finished adding them. There's the Hex layman guides there. There's a couple more guides as well. I'm going to add that in. Wikis as well. There's the main contract stuff here for Hex out of the contract. Okay, so the main address, the origin account, the flush address. We've got the Hex staking sites here. So if you want to stake with go.hex, and of course you can write directly to the contract as well. Wouldn't suggest that for most people, but you can do that through Web3. We've got the Hex audits there, obviously financial, contractual. And then we jump on to Pulsechain here, which is testing at the moment. That will be mainnet. We'll update that when mainnet comes out. We've got PulseX as well, which is the exchange. You can get those sites there. We've also got the PRC20s.com site, which is the FreePulse site as well. So that's related to P33 here, also related to FreePulse, the site here. So we've got that, and it's all related there. So basically what that does is basic links into PulseX, and at the moment it's just linked to Test Network, but if you paste your address in there, you'll see how much your airdrop is worth based on the ERC20 tokens you held. They get copied out of PRC20s. And of course, if they have a market price, they'll be valued up there. At the moment, it's completely fictional. So, just remember that this stage at PRC20s. We've got the Pulsechain and PulseX Sacrifice checker apps. We've got the general one there. We've got the Tron one there and the Theta one there. So if you want to check your balances, obviously the last balance came out. I'm not even sure what the last one was, but it came out. Let's check the general actually. The last version was the 12th of May. So that's only just come out, right? So it's the latest one there at the top, the 12th of May. So definitely check that out to make sure what your PulseX and Pulse balance are. So cool. What else we got there? We've got the Richard Hart websites there, the official ones. Obviously, you can always double check these. Those are official ones there. We've got the market trading, so the Hex contract, Hex price, Hedron price, crypto market, the Coin360 site, which I use all the time. This one here. We've got that one. And of course, Hex derivative products, Hedron. We've got the Hex Hedron staking in the future. So look, we've got a couple of information about that. If you want to read all about the blog and stuff on the Hedron stakings coming up, that will get supply of Hedron off the market in addition to burning. And so I think it's got 3 mechanisms for burning Hedron. So that would be in addition to that. And of course, fee sharing as well with the fees on that platform. Hard to know how much volume it will get through there, but over a long period of time, might add up. Maximus, of course, pooled state there, the official Maximus there. We've got onboarding tools. Hex Calc, Stake Hex, How to Pulse. How to Pulse obviously doing tremendous stuff there for community. Does a lot of the Twitter storms and a lot of how-to stuff. Really great site, honestly, and very cool. We've got Ethereum blockchain and exchange there. Obviously, if you want to know details about how big the wallets, how many wallets there are, and all that sort of stuff, you can see the information there. If you want to know about how much Uniswap is making in terms of fees and turnover and active people, you can see the stuff there. And of course, Pulsechain and YouTube streamers. If you want to see a lot more content, then you see. If you want to see a lot more streamers, we've got the PulseTube and we've got Hex streamers, which are really cool sites. And of course, you can see all this is the latest one here, PulseTube. It's got all the latest and greatest on there. You can actually say, hey, we finally made it to the front page. We've never been on the front page, so it's nice to be on the front page there. But we've got lots of other stuff here, lots of other channels. Look how many content creators there are. Insane in the membrane. Look how many there are. Just endless number of content creators now in Pulsechain, PulseX. And there's nothing much of Pulsechain launches. You imagine how many people are going to be in here being streamers. It's going to be absolutely boom time for Pulsechain. And of course, you can also just jump to the ladies section, which is great to see so many more ladies in the house there promoting Pulsechain, PulseX. And it opens up a whole new demographic, right? Very cool. Also got Hex streamers, of course. If you're not used to Hex streamers, obviously I've got Hex streamers at the top there. What's live, what's offline, what's coming up there as well. So very cool. Also lots of previous videos there you can check out as well. And yeah, pretty cool, I think. So that's that. And then finally, at the moment, obviously, this is going to add more to this list. Pulsechain Sacrifice project results. So if you want to see the sacrifice results, you can check that one at the bottom there. Very, very cool. So I'm going to continue this until I get every single, good quality or hopefully good quality link that's out there for the ecosystem. So definitely get into that. Cool VIP, as we say, cool VIP. All right, so let's see how many people got the Hex down there. So poll, how many days notice will RH give in advance? Yeah, that's probably a pretty good poll there. Let's put that in. What time we're up to? An hour and 30 minutes. We'll put that poll in. Advance, I guess. All right, get in there and fill out the poll. All right, cool. There's a poll. Hopefully that's based on Hex down unders there. 2-digit Gwei. Woohoo! Yeah, I'm watching that myself. Are you watching that now? Yeah, it's everyone's. I don't know. It's a bit of fun while we wait for Pulsechain. It's actually up to 3 Gwei. 3 Gwei on there at the moment. So they're talking about. I guess you're talking about Luna there. 3 Gwei up on KuCoin at the moment. Let's refresh that as well. 3 Gwei, 8 figures, 8 figures. Yeah, I think that's great on there. We're doing all right there. Doing all right at the moment. All right, so something vacation for the rest of our lives. Says two fin. Yeah, probably. You've always got to be productive though. You already got to be productive. Life's been in the house there with the emojis looking good. Hey, welcome everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff. We only got 94 likes there. Smash out the likes, 6 more to get to 100. It's kind of trying to get 100 every live stream now. So definitely go for that. And our poll at the moment, how many days notice will RH give in advance for the Pulsechain launch? None. 1 to 2 days, 3 to 4 days, or 5 days plus. I guess that's a reasonable point there. Nice. All right, so we've got crypto looking good. Nice rebound after a massive cave. I mean, Bitcoin was like down, what, 3,500, something that bought 13,500, something like that. That's a massive pullback inside a week. And of course, Ethereum there down dramatically as well. Was it down 3,000 to 2,000? Was it 650 or something like that? Pretty crazy stuff. Hex price there, just trying to rebound. Really, it's just the retail book moving this price from the looks of it. We've had obviously some penalty early in stakes with some large account holders. And of course, so we've seen that through the whale bot, which I haven't even looked at today. But the whale bot shown that we've had some OGs early, not today I don't think, but in the previous day when the big exodus there. 13 hours ago was our largest big buy, 2.4 million X, bought for 300k, so that was good to see a buy and not a sell there. But we had 20 hours ago we had 3.2 million sells, and then before that the previous day we had obviously quite a bit of selling I think in that previous day. Yeah, we did. So that's pretty much that on there. So cool, as we said, cool VIP. But the cool thing about Hex is you stake your Hex and you relax and you earn the T-shares a day. You ride through the markets and months go by, years go by. Obviously, we're up to about 2.5 years, and this is the way it goes. That's what happens in Hex. And it is kind of the ultimate there. And of course, you're going to get 2 for 1 at the moment. So you buy Hex, you're going to get copy on the Pulsechain, and that's going to be amazing. It'll be the golden child, I suggest, on Pulsechain. So it's going to be fun in the sun. What else we're going to go? I suspect that the wealth that's created in Pulse and PulseX, quite a bit of that will probably end up flowing into Hex as well. It'll be fun time. Let us get on here. Maxi is at 1.7. We've got almost 23 cents on Maxi. It's having a nice little pullback there. We've still got over 1 million max in the pool, but it's going to probably get down there. And we've got over $2 again for a Pulse dodge, so that's cool. I actually think this could be a bit of a surprise to the upside, this one. I have a feeling that once the launch phase is over, that people, it's hard to know what the benevolent address will do, the BA address. It's kind of the founder's address, no expectations, they say, but of course, kind of is like the founder's address. They may do something else with it. They may do something good. Maybe they really do want to just give it all back. They may just do that. That might be a surprise to the upside. Maybe they send it to the burn address. Maybe send it to burn it or something. I don't know. So anything's possible, right? I don't know if there's a burn. Is there a burn address? I think he did say. I can't remember. I'll double check the contract, see whether there's a burn address in there. I can't remember. But definitely is the case there. I guess we could go to the pulse dodge. Let's muck around and go to there. We're having freestyle time. Freestyle time. Everyone's like, what the fudge? He's going to freestyle time? What a loser, as they say. But we're all a family channel, so we don't say things like that. We try not to. Anyway, so let's go to, we're going to claim the airdrop there, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go to the GitLab and GitHub, I should say, and check out the old contractor-roo there. And hopefully this is going to work. This view that we have on this contract thing, it's not good like my other computer. I've got a different view, and it's actually much easier to follow. So bear with me as I muddle through this. Yeah, this is completely different to what I was viewing on the other side. Is it under the README? Let's have a look here. Is it showing up on there? I don't know if it's going to read me on that one. Is it README? Is that on the original? No, that's not going to. I guess I could go to the contract, but not if it's going to have that. Let's. Is it on this one? I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're in the right place now. I could have gone onto the blockchain, right? But we'll see how we go. Well, we've got a lot of general function at the top here. Let's just use the search function here. Burn address. Yeah, okay. So it's got a burn address. Yeah, I see burn from the 0 address. Need to burn address balance. I'm not sure whether it's a functional burn address or whether it's used for some other reasons. This includes minting and burning. This includes minting and burning. Tokens have burned. So it doesn't have any self-evident burning address, because if you go, remember, I'm not a Solidity coder, so just take that into account. And I'm just looking for something that's obvious, intuitive. So we go to the BA address, the BA. We go all the way down to the contract. Oh, we're at the top of the contract. Let's go back up here. So this is the sort of general functions at the top. All these general functions, and then we get into includes the what is this thing called? The Merkle tree. It includes the Merkle tree. But this is what we're looking down. Here's the actual contract at the bottom here. It creates the actual tokens of Pulse Dodge as an ERC20 token. We've got the Merkle tree root there. We've got the origin address. So see, this is where I mean it has the origin address in there. It has the benevolent address. So we can actually check that against the Hex contract. We go to the Hex contract. We can go to our useful links. We can go up to the top here. And we know the origin address is 0x9 ends in CO3. So 0x9 ends in CO3. So cool. And so forth. So that's all it's got on there in terms of addresses, I think. So cool. That is it at the top. I don't think there's any. So if it does have one, and maybe it creates it, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's got one explicitly. But cool. What else we're doing? I can't remember now. I think we went and mucked around there. That was probably about it. Let us go back to where we're heading. I don't know where we're heading now. We're still on that same tree. We are. Let's go back to Hex price and let's hang out there for a while. We wait for people to fill out our poll. 7 minutes ago, 24 votes. Not too bad. How many days notice will Richard Hard give in advance to the Pulsechain launch? 44%. None. 32% 1-2 days. 8% 3 to 4 days. 60% 5 days plus. Yeah, I think the sweet spot's kind of 3 or 4 days. That's what I would like, and it's only getting 8% on the vote. But hey, that's just the way it goes. Welcome to democracy. Democracy in the votes. That's how we rule. Rule with the democracy. Come on, 6 of you that haven't liked. What's the problem? Hey, we're up to 99 likes. Can we get one more like? Come on, let's go. Beep, 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 beep. Smash the likes. It's free to do, man. It helps with the Pulsechain and the PulseX pumpermentals. How we rock. Hey, let's have a let's check out how many subscribers we're up to on the subscribers say. A big shout out to Hardy Land, of course, for the thumbnail. That was community contribution and really awesome. It actually does signify what's about to happen to the crypto market when Pulsechain launches. It's going to be amazing. So it starts off as a little fire, it launches as a big fire, and only this is going to bloom into an outrageous fire that burns across the skies, as it were. Okay, we're up to 4,442 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Getting up to towards 4,500 there. And most of the content, of course, on this channel has been mostly live streams as opposed to pre-recorded. I have done quite a lot of pre-recorded, but I will look to do more pre-recording videos. Having some more plans around that. Cool. And how are we going on the Luna thing? I spent $50 so far. I do have a buy. I do have a buy order in at one Gwei. Is it one Gwei? Yeah, I think it's one Gwei. But yeah, it's not traded yet. There's a billion on the mark on the buy side there on KuCoin. We'll see how it goes. So all just a bit of fun, folks. All a bit of fun. We will see how we get on. Tom Second says nice stats. What the heck says, thanks for the stream, suit man. Hey, you're welcome. And Hex TC's in the house says, if someone wants to buy after the 24-hour swapping period, will they still have to bridge in first and then exchange? I'm guessing the fiat on-ramp won't be available straight away. Yeah, not expecting the fiat on-ramp straight away, but the bridge will, you'll be able to bridge stuff over. But of course, if you're part of the airdrop, if you've got assets on Ethereum, they're going to get copied over to PRC. So you will be able to participate in that if you have those tokens. Otherwise, you will have to wait for the bridge or the gateway, fiat gateway. John says, I think he will give a couple of days before Pulsechain launch, so the Hex price gets brought up in hype. I think so. That would be pretty cool. Look forward to that for sure. DHex SG and chill out and Justin tune in. You got my like as always, says D. Hey, appreciate that. I think we must have got over 100 likes then. Let's see how we get on there. 104, man. You guys killed it. Thank you so much, everybody. That does help with the algos. Gamon's in house there as well. Good to see Game On. Game On, I should say. And woohoo, Bears. Good to see you in house there. Woohoo, Bears. What's up, the Bears? We're in bullish market now. We're back in bulls. Might have been bearish yesterday and maybe this morning, but we're back over. We're in the greens. We're in the bull market here. Game On, and that's just the way we roll. We've got Hex here on an uptrend. Let's go back to the daily here. I actually didn't talk about the daily stats on this, and of course we look at this chart, man. Is it a crazy chart or what? Crazy chart? I think so. And we're gonna have to move our green candle over now. We're gonna have to move that over. But let's have a bring up our a DMI, and of course, bam! Look at that. Ouch! Ouchie! Ouchie! We're gonna move up the expectation there. It's probably going to be a bit further down actually because we've got to cross over, so we might have to put it here. We've got our buyers on the daily down here at 21. We've got the sellers that were in domination, but they're falling. So hopefully we'll get a reversal here on the green. That might show up by tomorrow, and we will be back on track. The yellow line there is our it reflects the orange line, which is the momentum. So the green is the buyer's direction, and the red is the seller's direction. Obviously, it's influenced by the big market correction there. And of course, we had quite a few early large in-stake wallet holders. I think there were a couple, was it 2 dolphins, 3 dolphins, something like that, related to that. So cool. If you haven't actually seen my staking video or around staking video I did the other day on Staker app and the different sizes, I did it after 6 months, and it's really interesting to see. We have a decrease in dolphins and sharks and things like that, and squids, but we have an increase in tingling turtles and all the other categories below that, crabs and stuff like that. So pretty cool. Big increases in those ones. So that's the way Hex is really. I think it's kind of cool how Hex works like that. All right, cool. Let us get into it. That is the DMI, and of course the RSI on the is way down. So we're down here at 43, but not completely down. I mean, 50 is the midpoint, and of course we've got plenty of room for a nice rally once we get a rally on. But I do believe it's going to be largely retail led, and maybe once we do get some stuff from Richard, we could get some nice big price movements from bigger wallets that come in as well that don't want to miss the train. And I was going to say one more thing about that. But ultimately, the higher level we are in the price, the higher we are in terms of this price here. Higher target we are, the better, the higher the pump. It's just the higher the base, the higher the pump. That's the way we want to see it. So cool. A lot of people have got a lot of liquid running around. That's my only reservation there. Cool. What else we got here? We got 34 votes. We're going to keep this vote open for another 2 minutes. So it'll be 15 minutes, and then we're going to close the vote up, and then we'll read through that. So definitely get into the vote there. We've got 104 likes. If you're new to the channel, of course, smash the likes on the way in. If you're on the way out, then smash the likes too, and hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. What else? So we got Rango in the house. Hey Rango, hey all, good to see you. Woohoo! Nice. Having a pretty good time actually at the moment. Let's see where we're up to. Do you realize that when we have PulseX up and running, we're going to have PulseX, we will have so much coins to talk about. We'll be trying to analyze who's coming in and what. Maybe I'll have to go back to doing some chain analysis. Chain analysis is fun, but it's just very tedious. If you've seen anyone that talks about doing chain analysis, they're all like, give me headaches. Like, it's like wasting your life, right? That's why I don't bother with it so much anymore. Is because I used to do a lot of it, but it's just like, oh my gosh, your time just passed. You just lost 2 years of your life. No, not quite that bad, but you get my point. It's pretty tedious stuff. All right, so PLSX there, 3.38 is the ratio at the moment, PLS to PLSX. So 1 PLS is equal to 3.38 PLX there, and that's where it's at the moment. It's been like that for ages, right? So if we have a look here, I'm not sure. What if I click on the yearly? Is it going to show you? Bizarre. So the monthly chart there, you can see that it's pretty much. Oh, let me just scroll that. It's too zoomed. I've zoomed in on too much on that. We've got. We start off at like the 14th of April there, 3, and of course we went down 2.73. We went up as high as 3.8, and went back down again. So it's really been around that 3 mark. So. Even though it's fictional, all the stuff is fictional on Testnet, it is an interesting trend that it's pretty much stayed pretty stable there. The trend may be of some use in terms of the ratio. And I think the drivers kind of suggest it to us that's the direction too. We've gone through that many, many times. I probably won't go through that today, but definitely there's particular drivers for each of them, for Pulse and PulseX in particular, and of course Hex as well. Now let's see how much the PulseX is worth that I've got. 1.1 million. Man, I lost a lot on that, right? That was 2.6 million before. So that's definitely a down. That was not a good trade, moving to PulseX for the time being. It's only Testnet, remember, it's not real. But hey, that's it. It is a fantasy trade. We made that by vote on the polls. That's how we roll on this channel. All right, 16 minutes. We're going to end the poll. Let's end that now and see what the results are. We've got how many days notice will RH give in advance? None. 39%. 1 to 2 days, 28%. 3 to 4 days, 15%, and 5 days plus 15%. That was 38 votes. Pretty interesting. None was kind of surprising one there, but it could very well do none, and just say, hey, we're forking the hike and it's all ready to go. That would be pretty amazing. That would create a kind of different type of FOMO compared to announcing it a couple of days ahead. Plus the AMM bot wouldn't have any. I guess no one's going to pull liquidity. I guess it's the Hex ETH pairs that's questionable, whether people pull that so they don't get harvested. Let's jump into that. We've got Kaori Weisenhouse. How do you buy Hex on Pulsechain? Just swapping. And the first day or two, they'll probably just be swapping there, Kaori. But then after that, the bridge will open up. You'll be able to bridge stuff over from other chains, but Hex in particular, Ethereum in particular. So yeah, you'll be able to do that. Obviously, if you have got assets on Ethereum, they're going to get copied over to Pulsechain, and there'll be pools for that in terms of Pulse, because the ETH's going to get swapped out for Pulse. So Scota's in the house there. Nice dig. Nice dig. Not sure what digging. And Steve's in the house there. McClatchy says, what return should single-sided PulseX stake earn? No one knows, Stephen. No one knows what that's going to earn. And we had that on here. This is basically third-party stuff, unless we have the incentive token. So who knows what we end up there. Might end up being 20%, something in that ballpark. Typically, they start very high, and then, of course, as many people flood in, If the supply is fixed of the reward token, then the percentage goes down really fast. So we had this one here. I can't even remember what the percentage was on here, but of course they did limit the amount of people could stake in this particular example. This is an example token. We don't know. I don't think we know the full stuff around this. Richard may have some surprises around the incentive token, around pool tokens. But we do have a DAO as well. We have a voting DAO that people will be able to vote on third-party projects airdropping to stakers in the pool. And it may not just be PulseX that gets staked. It could be a lot of other tokens, possibly Pulse as well. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I think that's going to be a flourishing economy right there with the voting and with the pools. That could be pretty cool. We may very well see some of the incentive inflation going out to the side of the pool as well. So cool. I think it needs to be limited though. A lot of people complain about that, but hey, if people want to have a fair go, it's probably better that way. Otherwise, you've got to do liquidity and farming, right? You got to provide liquidity, earn the fees on that, and then also get the incentive token here in the farms. Pretty much how it's going to be. Actually, how much have I got here? 0.47 harvest my INC. I might as well harvest that. And let's do that. I think that's gone down in price because I'm sure that was worth more before. We're just harvesting our incentive token here. I've got some PLSX, PLSS in the fork there. Cool. I should probably take all that PulseX that I got and put it all in the farm here. But hey, we'll leave it there. We've got the info here at the moment. Not doing too bad. We've got currently yesterday's trading volume was 1.34 billion. Today is 711 billion. A million, I should say, 711 million. Just remember, this is all false. This is all just testnet and V2V. None of these numbers are real, but this is an example of what will happen when they do go real. When mainnet goes real, these numbers will be real, and it's going to be fun to see them price discovery from zero. It will get priced up soon after the first trade. It's going to get priced up, and really the AMM bot's kind of like the first trade if you think about it, setting up liquidity pools. So it's going to be fun. We've got Pulse here at 0086. Everyone will be pretty happy with that. And of course, we got PulseX here at 0.002, quarter of a cent now. And like I say, if PulseX gets to a cent and no one has from the sacrifice set has sold, that would be over 11,500 people would be millionaires at 1 cent PulseX. But of course, we know in reality that we'll get a lot of sellers before that happens. So that's just what happens. So how many people will still be surviving after that period of time? I don't know. 5%? I don't know. We'll find out. How many people are left standing for the big X returns. Got to absorb a lot of selling pressure, a lot of price cycles. You need to get a lot of economic energy in there, but I think everything's set up to do that, make that happen. The other thing, of course, we saw the drip network pop up here too. I haven't actually seen the token here, but the drip network popped in here. I can't see it here at the moment, so let's see if I can search for it. I'm not sure if it's yeah, drip network here. So that dropped in here. That was pretty interesting. So that's got stuff traded on there. It's got 4 trading pairs. Pretty small stuff here, but it was interesting that dropped in there. I saw a couple of YouTubers talking about this who were in the drip network. They were pretty bullish on Pulsechain. Hey, like that's what I said. Once one project finds out, they tell their community. Another project finds out, they tell their community. So you can see how this is like a fire that goes through imagine a big wheat field of thousands of projects, and it just filters through like this. OMG, it's really is going to be fascinating to see this play out. This is the biggest thing ever, man. Richard has really designed something huge here, and man, he just keeps killing it on the old gamification. It's going to be absolutely fascinating to see. And like I say, you got to have a pretty big crowd, a pretty big audience, and a pretty good charismatic leadership to make this happen as well. Not just the genius type of gamification. You need to be able to build it, get the team, get the devs. You got to have good management skills from that point of view. You need to have a good idea of what you're wanting to achieve. You need to be able to have a big community. You need to have enough charisma to lead that community into there. And of course, once you set up the infrastructure, then everyone else comes, and it's going to be fun to see that. But like I say, I don't think we can, using comparable chains and dexes, we can really compare what these Pulsechain and PulseX were made to. And PulseX may very well, as I say, be the first super dex. In other words, challenges the value that the main chain will get priced up to, that people were typically after, right? So typically after the Pulse So it's going to be fascinating to see that too. All questions will get answered soon. And of course, if we do launch late May here somewhere, maybe 23rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, somewhere in that ballpark, be pretty amazing. Let's get to some of the comments in the chat there. We've come up on 2 hours, so we're gonna do this here. We've got Hex Hog in the house there. Why won't you twerk for us? I thought you were a dancer called Suitman. Do the super twerk. You know what you want to do. Hey, I think almost close to banning Hex Hog there. Almost close to a complete ban on that one. That's just too far. I'm just kidding, folks. That's pretty funny. Hex GT's in house there. Which stable would be most stable on PLS? Well, we're thinking probably USDC, and probably the most stable will probably end up being, in my view, USDL. Yeah, so we've got a centralized one there and a decentralized one. The only question, of course, is I think USDL is the no-brainer. The problem with the USDC, even though it's probably more stable, we saw that with the recent pullback. We saw a USD Tether get a depeg slightly. USDC went to a premium, and so did a couple of the others, BUSD and stuff like that. So I definitely think that's probably better. But of course, they won't be technically back one-to-one, right? So they may just pull. They could end up, they control the keys to the accounts and turn stuff off. And so that's the risk there. On the other side, of course, is that we've got USDL, but that won't be for 4 to 8 weeks later that we get liquid lines set up with the USDL coin. And as we saw in liquidity on Ethereum, that the LUSD token is very fast to repegging. In other words, arbitrage comes in and gets that back to $1 peak very quickly. And of course, that's a exogenous decentralized stablecoin, so algorithmic stablecoin. And basically what it means is that the asset backing, unlike Luna, which was backed by UST, which was backed by its own token Luna, and the minting and burning there between those two, is that with an exogenous one, you're based on a third-party asset. As long as that asset is a good one, you should be perfectly fine, and as long as you're not under collateralized too. So those two things together, and that seems to be how liquidity works, and also how USDL will work on Pulsechain. Obviously, having the exogenous or external asset being a Pulse, and of course the collateral system in the system, making sure that the system doesn't get over collateralized with the 150% trigger there. So I think that's going to probably play out pretty well. And it's also early, so I think that will probably do pretty well. So it's probably the two ones there. I also think DAI will probably operate pretty well as well. So yeah, probably DAI in some sense. If you take out the ownership, the custodial, which is probably the most fundamental part, then DAI is probably the better one there. So that's just some of my thoughts there. Obviously, not investment advice. We really don't know what's going to happen to those assets. What they could get fractionally reserved. In other words, the market prices them up, regardless of their asset backing. So there could be zero asset backing, but they get priced up, that sort of thing. So we'll see. The market will decide. We saw UST here. We scroll on that. Have we got enough room for that? I'm not sure. We got the UST here. It's currently at 20 cents. So will we get some of those PRC stables getting priced up at 10 cents, 5 cents, 20 cents, or will it head towards $1? Who knows? We'll see. And of course, will they be volatile? We'll probably possibly do. That uncertainty there. So we'll see. People are always willing to speculate on that stuff. But regardless of that, once the bridge opens up, which could be as early as 24 hours, somewhere in that ballpark, we're going to see stables come over anyway that are actually asset backed, getting bridged over into new pools, right? New liquidity pairs with what we call bridged pairs coming over. So as opposed to just the ambient bot pairs and pairs made by the public with their own tokens and setting up their own liquidity, like you can do on the pools here if you can add liquidity and create your own pairs and stuff like that. So cool. It's the first time it's ever been made. Nice one. I think that's probably it. We're coming up on 2 hours. We're rocking it. We've got the adult sites in. We must be doing really well here on late night show. We're going to go into some of these. Let me jump out of here. We're going to wrap this up. Let's go over to the Hex price. We're looking not too bad. Let's go to the hourly on Hex. We're going to jump over to that. That is where we are. We're going to scroll up. Heck, I lost. That was an accident. Oh, I really lost that now. Oh my goodness. What have we got that? 22. I'm going to put that 22. We're going to scroll that up. And that's where we're at the moment. Let's get on to there. So 13.39, just etching its way up and to the right there. And let's get into some comments. Chris Marketing House there. Woohoo! Hey, my number one fellow Kiwi. Hey, good to see you, Chris Marketing. Appreciate that. Big shout out. Like I say, it's nice to have a bit of freedom coming back in New Zealand. Good old Kiwi land. Mixed Arts, Crypto Art says it's a shame that many people won't have their coins in the correct wallets. Yeah, just make sure that you've got your assets on the Ethereum blockchain if you want to get them copied over. If you've got them on centralized exchange, you're basically giving them to the centralized exchange, in my view, based on past behavior. So just make sure you do that. Spread the word as well. Keep spreading the word about Pulsechain, the biggest airdrop in crypto history, the biggest yield farming, and all the opportunities that will bring. Get other people in their communities to spread the word as well. Obviously, the SHIB is doing pretty well there. Scott McLaren says, before the bridge, can we swap Hex with tokens like chain swap, SHIB, and Pulsechain, Mincha? Yeah, you'll be able to do that. Yeah, you'll be able to do all the swappings there. What the AMM bot's going to be doing is harvesting the ETH pairs and doing a 1.2 million to 1 adjustment for those ETH pairs, and pretty much that's how that's going to work. Mixed Crypto, I tell my friends, many don't listen, but big channels really should tell their followers. Yeah, they should tell them followers earlier, but they'll probably do it afterwards, right? Because a lot of big content creators have promoted Sacrifice for Pulsechain, and of course we'll hear from them later on. Hexride says a bit Craig will tweet for us. Just saying, yeah, probably will. And about the airdrop says Mixed Crypto Arts. What else have we got going? Better late than never, says Brennan. Hey, good to see you in the house there. Got to jump through some of these unfortunate websites here. What else we got there? Isnana says they will after they have made their gains. Sad says it's now. Yeah, that's true. Well, that's how they get their gains, is by sending their followers to do that. Doing my duty for the channel, says Brennan. I appreciate that. And that's now says, what a welcome for you. Yeah. Hey, it's pretty awesome. We're up to 2 hours, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. It's been good hanging out, as well as kind of be a bit of a mixed show. And let's see how the old portfolio is going there with the old Luna speculation. Let's see how we get on there. That'd be pretty cool. Like I say, if I do end up making up any profits with this, you know where it's going, right? You know where it's going. It's going back into Hex and Pulsechain. So far I'm in the money. I'm in the money at the moment. We'll see how we get on next few days. It's a little bit of fun, but you just never know your luck in crypto. All right, so that's cool. Let's go through the markets. 30,400 BTC back over 30. Let's hope I can hold it. Obviously, let's see how we do. And 2,000 for ETH. It's going to be very volatile, and of course the trend is still down at the moment. So even though we're over 30, it's very bullish, but of course the trend is still down. We've got Hex at 13.4. We've got let's jump out of the Hex Wildbot there. We've got ETH Gwei's coming down finally. It's down to a more reasonable level. It's still high, but still reasonable. 52 for ETH chain, so it's all compared to ETH chain there. We've got Hedron at 12.77. We've got Maxi at 22.68. Sorry, 22.68 cents, and of course up 70% premium to X. We've got Pulse Dodge at $2.02. Pulse Dodge, that's Pulse Dodge coin, I should say, at $2.02 on the ETH chain. On the Binance Smart Chain, we've got Pulse Dodge at 0.8 of a penny, and P33 at 21 cents. Now, the reason why I like talking about these two is that I think Pulse Dodge will probably do pretty well, and I think that these are both on the Binance Smart Chain, so just kind of shows you that I think they've got more vulnerability on the BNB chain because it's not getting copied over directly, it being airdropped by the team, so it's going to be interesting. Very cool, and we'll see how Pulse Luna Terra goes, and see how they gets on with the reviving their chain. We'll see what they can do within a couple of weeks, get that resurrected. It's a bit like having a cardiac patient and getting those old, the old electric thumpers on the chest or whatever. Come alive. And I don't know if you've seen Gene Wilder movie. What was that? That was one of those classics with the old Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It was a classic with the Gene Wilder in it. And of course they had that. He's alive. That was the silliest thing ever, that movie. Classic though, true classic. And of course, at the moment, there's currently the block height's just all frozen on the Terra Luna. We'll see how that goes. But definitely get into to Discord. We've got two more members now, 3 away from 350. So definitely get in there. We've got lots of good stuff, as I say, and it's only going to get better and better and better. And we've got such a cool community in there. Big shout out. All right, so let's wrap up. 2 hours. Let's get into it. James Bond says, get ready. We're going to the moon. Absolutely. and made it to the aim here. Phoenix says, woohoo, a good one. It's down now. We're gonna close out now. So thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, smash the like, and hit the bell for future videos. 2 live streams a day, Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex. We talk about non-stop every day, twice a day, and that's like what, 3-4 hours of content. We're having a lot of fun for sure. Danny says, have you seen Hocus Pocus Finance? No, I have not. And I think someone mentioned a couple of ones the other day. I did check them out. Let me take a snapshot of that and I'll check that out. But I think I may have seen that yesterday, possibly. Just can't remember now. I checked out something yesterday. We'll have a look. Come on, Luna. Need profits to sack for RH wallet. Hey, James Bond. I'll see you in Discord. We'll talk about Luna and a little speculative play. That's for sure. Brendan says, rock on, as Hex Token would say. Yeah, rock on. Woo-hoo! Rock on. Pulsechain is coming. I love it. And James Bond in the house there too with the emojis. Young Frankenstein. This is Nana creation scene. Yeah, we'll watch that. And I got to be careful playing YouTube videos because of the copyright. So I got to be careful with that. KD's in the house, Night All, and Property Rose says, good show today. Hey, you're welcome there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. And of course, smash out the emojis on the way out. Let's see how we go. I'm going to find some emojis here. Bam. We've got that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. And I think we'll leave it at that. Cool. Smash those. All right. Excellent stream, says Dog Days. I appreciate that. Peace out to you. Take care, everybody. And enjoy yourselves. I'll be watching a lot of sci-fi. I'll catch you tomorrow for 2 more live streams. That's how we rock and roll. It's now. Thanks so much for being the moderator, 4 minutes in there. You're killing it every time. Doing a great job. And all the Hex Token channel members, appreciate your support. And all subscribers, rock on. We're going to have a lot of fun, man. Pulsechain's coming. And it's going to be rocking this whole crypto world. Richard is the man for that. All right, take care. Bye for now.